Earmuff, you stay on hard.
Let me start. Welcome to the live of the BCSN SportsWrap. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy New Year's to all of you. Bryan and A.D. Drew here. Drew, it's good to see you again, brother. It's been a minute. It's been a while. How you been?
Man, I've been doing great, man. It's been it's been 2 weeks since we've been on the air, man. So
yeah, about 2 weeks.
Been 2 weeks, man. So just happy to be back with you, man, for our last show. Can you believe it, Bryan? The year of our Lord 2025 is almost over.
Almost coming to an end, Drew. What a year it's been. Hello to everybody. Those of you joining us, however and wherever you're watching us, you might be watching us on our YouTube pages, watching on the Facebook channels, on Instagram Live, or on Twitter. We say hello and we thank you for coming in and joining us. We're going to try our best to recap the best of 2025. Now, with that said, that is a mouthful because there's this is the kind of show that requires a full production team of more than 2 people, and 2 people who aren't extremely busy as Drew and I are. So we might miss something. We might not have video and pictures and imagery, but if you know our show, you're gonna go down memory lane with us, and you might help us remember something that we forgot. And so, Drew, let's make sure when we see those kind of things in the chats, let's make sure to star them so that we make sure to bring them up.
And that's what I was gonna say. Help us out. Some of your best memories of 2025 that you all remember, and let's try to encompass major events in all of the sports. Let's go back to basketball, back into last year's conference season. Baseball, softball, track and field, indoor and outdoor track and field, golf, tennis, into the summer. Yeah, we know we had some news always during the summer. You've always got some strange news, athletic directors changing hands, coaches changing hands, football, volleyball, whatever it is. Help us out. Maybe you guys will think about something that we miss. You probably will think about something that we miss. So as much as we cover, and I know for me, as much as I am enamored in athletics at my institution and in my conference and on my level, sometimes I miss things on the Division I level, Bryan.
Yeah, I get it.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sly. I was there for that.
Yeah. You know what? That wasn't on the list.
That was not.
That's
why we need people like you, Sly. I was there for that one.
Thank God. Yes. That was not on the list. You know what? And that, oh man, this is going to send us down a rabbit hole. We have to put that in let's start aggregating a list of the biggest surprises and upsets of the year, and mark that as one. Mark, there's a little notes button there, Drew. I don't know if you and I have that shared, but let's kind of start tagging some of those biggest upsets of 2025. You see that little notes thing on the right side?
Yes, I got
see
you.
See if you can add to that. I wonder if it'll show up if you add something. If I'll see it as well.
I don't think it does. I don't think it.
Maybe try it. But yeah, thank you.
Visible only to you. I'm looking at the notes right now.
So yeah, we'll have to add that.
Put that in the private chat.
What's that? Notes. Yeah, notes. Upsets. I'm just gonna put this in here. Upsets of 2025. Yep.
So we did have.
Hold on. Before we get going, because obviously we're going to get through a lot of stuff. Let's start with because I don't want to end the show with us doing this. I want to get this out the way. What are some things that you are most, and I know this is hard to think about in the moment, but what are some things from this past year, Drew, that you are most appreciative of, or maybe some things that come to mind that you experienced or were a part of that you're really thankful that you had a chance to be a part of in 2025?
All right, I'm going to have to approach that on two different levels, Brian. And I'm going to have to approach that on the selfish level, professionally, working for Morehouse.
Sure.
And some of the opportunities with Morehouse. And then I will do it on a journalistic level.
Okay.
I've got a couple with Morehouse. Number one, and it's one of our stories we're going to get into, the upset that we had at Howard on King Day.
Yeah, I just came across that story. That's what I sent you in a private chat.
I had already had that one queued up for you.
Okay, cool. Okay.
Number two, going out to Oakland and experiencing the All-Star game, the HBCU Classic in Oakland, setting the attendance record for that event in the short time of that event with 2 Division II schools, Brian. Being a part of that was an experience. Everything but the W on that one.
Yeah.
Everything but the W on that particular one. And then see if I can get you one more from a Morehouse perspective. The Classic we played in Boston, Brian. First time. The Classic that we played in Boston to open up the.
Okay. Yeah.
Once again, everything but the W. We got our what's handed to us by Johnson C. Smith in that particular game, but just experience of Boston, and a runner-up, Ryan. Not to sound like a homer, but when Morehouse beat Tuskegee in Montgomery, in Crampton Bowl, I wish y'all would have saw the video of what happened. You know how these young people pull the belt out to signify that they beat somebody, Brian? BTA.
Yes.
Guess who volunteered to give their belt up for that?
Well, I was there for that one, wasn't I? I think that was the game I called.
No, you weren't there for that.
Okay.
No, football, Brian. When we beat Tuskegee and Crampton Bowl, I personally handed the football team my belt because that one was personal for me.
You know what? It made me think about the Morehouse Clark game, the Morehouse Clark game, which I called that game with Wilton.
The double overtime.
The double overtime. Yes, I remember. I called that game with Wilton, and I just remember that was in the early stages of the BTA. The whole concept of the BTA I felt like it really took a life of its own at that moment because there was this mob of kids with the belts, right? And then you saw some players
right in front of the scores table.
Yes, right in front of it. I mean, it was an unbelievable scene. It was I was very
you still got
honored.
the video.
It's on somewhere. It's got to be somewhere. It's got to
No,
be somewhere.
because
We
I know
got that
one of y'all
somewhere.
pulled out y'all phones and took that video on y'all phones.
I think Wilton made, but remember that was the game where the game was so excited we got knocked off the air
Because somebody pulled up, somebody tripped the
because the
plug.
crowd was jumping behind us and they pulled the plug. And if it wasn't for, I forgot what was it, something helped us out. The fact that we used either a timeout or something happened, a delay in the game actually worked to our benefit, where we actually didn't lose any of the playing time. Like for the amount of time that we were down, it coincided with the timeout. And props to Roy, because I mean, when we were up there, we just calling, all of a sudden, everything went out. And Roy went into Sonic, put some band-aids, try to figure out what happened. I mean, he did it so quickly, and he's running around trying to figure it all out while everybody is jumping around celebrating. And we got back on the air just in time to be able to finish that game. But yeah, I just remember that. So go ahead. I'm sorry, I got in the way of your memories.
On a professional level, seeing the success of the SWAC basketball tournament coming to Atlanta, and witnessing what I witnessed, unfortunately, in the SWAC baseball tournament. Shout out to Coach Johnny Hernandez. I will give props, even though he represents that school on the beach. I do like him personally. I just don't like where he works. Just different things. Just different things like that. Being a part of the Albany State run in the Division II tournament, and then of course on a personal level, being asked and accepting the position of the media coordinator with ESPN events, working the Cricket BX SWAC Challenge, the Cricket Celebration Bowl, and the Red Lobster Band of the Year. I'll yield the floor to you, Bryan.
Man, that's loaded. You gave me time to kind of flip through my phone index of things from the past year. I guess I'll start with some of the more recent things that come to mind. First off, incredibly honored, blessed, humbled to have the opportunity to be the play-by-play voice for Florida A&M football on the Rattler Football Network, calling 10 games this season. Although it was not the season that we had dreamed and imagined, that was a opportunity that I had long dreamed of doing, as far back as being an undergrad in Gibbs Hall, listening to play-by-play games of FAMU football games, and knowing my aspirations to be a play-by-play broadcaster. And yes, I've done stuff, with you, Black College Sports Network, loved all those moments, but being associated with a team is always a dream that I had. And so getting the call, and I'm extremely thankful to Vaughn Wilson. Hold on, I gotta think. I gotta make sure I get all of my thanks in here, because it wasn't just Vaughn, but Angela Suggs, Al Chester, Bobby Swoop, people who put in a voice and a name for me when the opportunity presented itself, and when they decided that they wanted to make a change. I was honored that finally somebody recognized my capabilities, and so the ability to be able to do it. And I think we had a great EA. I don't know, EA. Thank you. If you had a part of that, I don't know. Thank you, EA. But to any and everybody who put in my name, and I hope, despite the outcomes of some of those games, we brought a great broadcast, and we kind of uplifted the status of our Florida A&M football broadcasting, and I'm excited about the future. Should I get the opportunity to continue on in that role? So that was one thing that I think was a highlight, and it was recent too, right? And it put me in. I mean, like, I traveled to places that I had never been before. Like, I had never been to Southern University, never been to the Bluff, and never been to Mumford Stadium. I hadn't been to New Orleans since a Mardi Gras back in college. That's the last time I was in New Orleans, Drew. So I had like flashbacks walking down Bourbon Street. It was like, ooh, yeah, don't get lost down this road. Going to UAPB for the first time, calling a game at Alabama A&M, just being able to travel with the team and see that operation was immensely enjoyable. So I'm humbled and thankful for that. I'm just kind of scrolling through back and looking at things, from a family perspective. I'm thankful that at the beginning of the year, I had an opportunity to go to the college football national championship environment in Atlanta with my sister. We had a chance we did everything but go to the game. Thankfully, we didn't spend the money. Thankfully, we didn't spend the money because that was heartbreak. But Dad was there, so we had a chance to do that. I went on a DC trip with my dad and my sister. That was kind of fun. I'm kind of just looking back at that. Obviously, we did some broadcasting. I went to Houston. First time I've been to Houston in a while to do the Cactus Jack. That was a good experience. Got a chance to see some family friends that I hadn't seen in years while I was in Houston. And we called some pretty amazing baseball games in that Astros ballpark. I just found that February 22nd, I just found some pictures and videos from that Morehouse Clark game. That was kind of funny. Just the summer of touring, the various HBCU sites this past year, and watching all that play out via the things that we did with Florida A&M. That was pretty memorable. From a fan perspective, seeing my Pacers get to within one game of winning the NBA Finals and then having it blown by an Achilles injury to our star player. I mean, the highs and lows of that postseason, man, I tell you, that was something. But, so, I mean, that's just some of the things that I'm extremely thankful for having gone through in 2025. So, good stuff there. Good stuff. So I'm glad we did that, because I wanted to kind of do that here because, we'll get into more as we go, and I didn't want to do that at the end of the show. Rather get it in here in the beginning and go forward. So hello to everybody who's joining the show, who's just checking in with us. We appreciate you. As always, those of you who are in the chats, we want to hear your best moments of 2025, whatever they were, and we're going to try to go through some of the best moments in games and the memorable moments, the biggest upsets, so anything that comes to mind, feel free to drop it in the chats. The chats are active and live on YouTube and Facebook. If you're on your desktop on Twitter, you can probably interact and leave a chat there as well. We will see it. And we'll go through there. And so I know Drew and I were debating on two different ways to do this show. We could either go chronologically, which is going to be incredibly hard, or we can kind of do it by sport. So we're going to try to mix it up a little bit and we may jump around here. But we're just going to do the best we can here. And so I think we both talked about kind of starting in basketball, unless you wanted to mention, I'm just kind of flipping through one of our favorite sites that kind of has a nice chronological order. Shout out to our guy, Alex Hines, HBCU SportsNet.com, HBCU SportsNet.com, where he has a great aggregating website that, his site goes all the way back. It'll show you in chronological some of the things that happen across the HBCU diaspora. So where do you want to do? What do you want? One last time, Drew. Do you want to go basketball like we kind of talked about? You want to start with basketball?
Let's stay with the original plan. Yes.
Basketball. All right.
And let's start. And let's start in DC.
Start in DC?
Yeah.
What happened in DC that you want to start with, Drew?
I want to start with that Morehouse upset victory over Howard.
Oh, okay. Go ahead, start there.
All right. For the first time since 1997, the Maroon Tigers claimed a victory over Division I opponent, and that opponent just happened to also be Howard, in front of 2,600 people at Burr Gymnasium. Game that went back and forth. Morehouse had control of the game. Howard made a run in the early in the second half. Let's see. Morehouse had a 40-28 lead at the half. Howard made a run in the second half. Retook the lead 71-69 with less than 3 minutes remaining. Morehouse was tied up at 71 each with 2:43 remaining. And ultimately, Morehouse would go on to capture the victory, 79-76. Morehouse had a player that played so good that he hit the portal and went to Howard. One Cedric Taylor the third. Shout out to Trey. Say if we can't beat them, get one of them.
That probably made a nice little NIL pocket too. Little NIL, made a few dollars for himself.
Yes.
Good stuff. Since we're talking about our schools, right? I will say from a Florida A&M perspective, what a crazy year it was for basketball for Florida A&M. We haven't had a lot of things to talk about from a basketball perspective, but Coach Pat Crary gave us a lot to talk about in 2025. He really did. Dating as far back to how horribly mismanaged his initial contract was in 2024. That's the best way I can say it.
Our prediction that I got right.
You did.
And if you remember, let's go back to 2024, and I said Patrick Crary will not be the coach at Florida A&M in 2025 for one of two reasons. With that bogus 1-year contract, A, he was not going to perform well, and that was going to be their excuse to let him go. Or B, he was going to perform well enough where somebody else was going to come in and swoop him up. And when about January of last year, where they gave him a contract offer and he did not sign it, I knew what was kind of happening. And as soon as the opportunity came, Patrick Crary got on the first train out of Tallahassee.
I think you're making it. You make it sound so nice and easily compact, Drew, that I don't think you do it justice. And I say that because I feel like I spent enough time talking to Coach to know that and know some of the things that were going on behind the scenes. But before we get into that, I mean, yes, that is definitely something. M4 said that is something that FAMU effed up royally. You said that, chef's kiss on that. You said that perfectly, because there was a moment where, obviously, I'm not going to rehash the old stuff, but, you said what you said, right? But when he got to winning, he got on a winning streak. And now we got on a winning streak. We're in the Angela Suggs AD era. We got a new AD, and she's working behind the scenes to make sure everything's right. She got the board of trustees at FAMU to agree to the whole to putting the 2 years back in place in his contract. And so as we're going into the end of the season, right, FAMU is sitting there somewhere in the, I don't even know where we were in the rankings, but I think we were in the top 6 or 7. It was a pretty interesting men's run, because I think if you go back and look at the standings from that year, it was very interesting where FAMU basketball was, and FAMU basketball really had never won a SWAC championship, or hadn't won a SWAC tournament game. Let me back up some. We hadn't won a SWAC tournament game. Of course, at this point, we
hadn't even been in the tournament barely.
We're only 4 years. Yeah, we're only 4 years in. No, we've been in the tournament one other time.
Once.
One other time, yeah. And if I'm not mistaken, we did have, I gotta think, the MJ Randolph era was in the SWAC, and I think he may have won. I feel like he may have won.
That was the year they made it to the tournament. The first year.
He won Player of the Year. He won Player of the Year that year. And so it was what it was. He won Player of the Year. I think he won Player of the Year. But anyway, we ended up having a player win Player of the Year. We had a player win Newcomer of the Year. We go into the tournament, and this was the 10 team, right? So I think we were one of the 4 teams that had to play in the opening day, because it was like teams 7, 8, 9, and 10 had to play the first game. So I think we were maybe the 7 seed, if I recall. We played the 10 seed. So we won the opening game, but we won it without the SWAC Player of the Year, right? Conveniently unavailable. I'll say it now. Rumors were already floating that he was making a business decision at that point in time, is what I was hearing in the background. But needless to say, who knows what could have happened if he would have been there. But we won a game without him. We go into the next game where we're playing Jackson State. Man, talk about a heated rival. And so we ended up losing that game to Jackson State in the quarterfinals. But everyone knew, and all the rumors were floating around with Coach Crary. And of course, he would eventually, and this kind of leads me to the other kind of coaching carousel that occurred during that whole tournament, which you had Alabama A&M and their coach, right, Otis Hughley, who was on the last year of his deal. He would end up, I guess, he had an option and he decided to resign, or either they wanted to not renew the contract, whatever. But so Otis Hughley is out at Alabama A&M. Instantly, everyone's ears perk up because Crary hadn't signed his contract or that extra 2-year thing. But nobody was looking to the right, where Dante Jackson, who was the coach at Grambling State, who had just previously took Grambling State to the SWAC, or they won the SWAC in 2024, went to the tournament. Didn't they win a game in the tournament, I think?
Yeah.
So, but no one was looking that direction. And what do you know? The news comes out, Grambling State's Dante Jackson is leaving to go to Alabama A&M with his former AD, Dr. Paul Bryant. Everybody's like, whoa, what the heck just happened? But wait, there's more, because that just opened the door to, of course, Dante Jackson, Pat Crary, good friends. That opened the door for Grambling State to come in and make a sweetheart deal to Pat Crary with some stability, length of terms, contracts, more money, more NIL, everything that, look, he wanted without the BS that was going on at FAMU, he got from Grambling. And at the 11th hour, boom, he makes the choice to say, I'm going to Grambling. All right, hurt my heart, but I understood. So he's gone to Grambling. That leaves the door open at Florida A&M. And I was one of the first people, Drew.
You were.
I'm claiming this.
I'm
claiming this one. I was one of the first people that said the first call that A.D. Angela Suggs should make should be to Heisman Trophy winner Charlie Ward.
If I got the Patrick Carreri prediction right, you got the Charlie Ward part of it right also. So we both get credit for that one.
Yes. I got that right. And I had no insider information, didn't talk to A.D. Suggs, but just kind of I knew the tea leaves, but I didn't know it all. And so, come to find out, she had a great relationship with the Wards, and she was on the phone the minute Carreri was trying to being courted by Grambling. She was on the verge of contacting and courting Ward, and it just worked out that the former Heisman Trophy winner, former 11-year NBA pro, would then become the head coach at Florida A&M. And so that little triangle kind of worked out where Carreri leaves Florida A&M to Grambling. Dante Jackson leaves Grambling to go Alabama A&M. Ward enters in at Florida A&M. But also among those coaching moves, how about Alcorn State losing Landon Bussey? Landon Bussey, who went to, I believe, where did he go? Chicago State?
Chicago State.
Yeah, he leaves Mississippi after a very successful run where he won a couple of regular season titles at Alcorn State. So he ends up leaving Alcorn to go to Chicago State. That took place. And then while we're talking on the Division I side, the craziness in the Division II level was even a little messier, maybe a little funnier.
Can I break that down?
Break it down.
If you remember the All-Star Classic, that was in what was the All-Star game at last year? Because Indy this year.
It was Indy, wasn't it? Indy?
No, it's in Indy this year. Anyway, the HBCU basketball All-Star game.
Yes.
You realize that all of the coaches on the Division II side, none of them wound up representing their team after that game.
Oh, yes.
For the following year.
I remember that. Yes, I remember that. Yes, it was in Houston. Thank you, Troy. Yes.
None of the Division II coaches represented their teams after that game.
Because you had
coaching changes.
You had Fayetteville State's Luke D'Alessio, who was the head coach.
Going to, they just did a coaching trade. That's all they did.
They did a coaching trade because Fayetteville State ended up hiring Bluefield State's coach, Devin Hohen, I think is his last name, because I may be saying it wrong. But it was the Bluefield State coach.
Yes.
So he ends up going to Fayetteville State. The Fayetteville State coach, which shocked everybody, because like, man, the man he had a good run. Okay. Bluefield State hired him. So as you said, there's that coaching trade. And then, of course, I gotta mention it, Drew. So you want to cut your screen off. But after 20 years with the Morehouse College program as the head coach and assistant coach, Douglas Whitler
and
player alum, he's gone at Morehouse College, and I forgot where he ended up at. I saw it somewhere.
Allen
University, yes, Allen University, and I don't know who your head coach is now, Drew. Apologies. I know you.
Larry Dixon.
Larry Dixon, thank you. Larry Dixon becomes a new coach.
State fame.
Yeah, becomes a new coach at
Johnson
Morehouse College. Yeah. So that was on the men's side. the women coaching. But hold on, let's stick to the men here because let's go back because we're still talking men's basketball because I think that's enough of that. But let's talk about some other big moments that occurred on the men's basketball side. And I think we got to mention Alabama State. We got to mention what Alabama State did in the SWAC tournament.
Defeating Jackson State, if I remember correctly.
Defeating Jackson State in the championship.
Picking up a win.
Wasn't there? Okay,
first four.
So hold on, I'm gonna be messy here. They picked up a win over Jackson State's head coach. Help me out here. Former Mo Williams.
Mo, yeah.
who got his coaching start. Who got his coaching start at Alabama State, then leaves Alabama State after 2 seasons, 2 bad seasons. All right, I'm saying it. But he left to go back home to Jackson State. Okay, we get it. You know, you go back home, it is what it is, right? And you got one bid to go to the tournament. And Alabama State ends up beating Jackson State to go to the tournament. Then Alabama State gets to the tournament, the first 4. Right? Or
it's the
opening round. Yes, the tournament. No shade. I call it the first 4, but whatever. And they win a game in a buzzer beater. A buzzer beating March Madness, one shining moment miracle in which they advance. I don't even remember who they beat, honestly, but it was let me see. I guess 20 years. Alabama State hadn't been to the NCAA tournament in 20 years. That was the last time they win. Alabama State ends up getting a win. And then I believe they went on to play. Do you recall who they played in the St. Francis? Thank you. M4, they beat St. Francis in the first 4. And then they went on to defeat or lose to, was it Purdue? It was I feel like it was either Purdue. We didn't do this great research here on this guy, so I apologize for that. But they did lose in the next round as a 16 seed, but still, I mean, it put big time eyes on Alabama State in that moment, which now was the second consecutive year, or it might have been the third, because Texas Southern had a few years where they were winning a game, but the SWAC tournament champ got another win in the opening round, which, let me see, the year before Grambling State won, and there was a couple years where Texas Southern got back-to-back wins. So I want to say over the past 5 years, I feel like it's 4 of the past 5 years, a SWAC team won a tournament game in the NCAA men's tournament. That sound about right?
That sounds about right.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Anything else from the Division I men's side? We can kind of keep moving through these notes because I got
one for the women's side. I want to hit on.
Jump to the women. What you got?
How about first of all, Diamond Johnson, Player of the Year in the MEAC,
Norfolk State,
and what she did at Norfolk State, and then Coach Larry Vickers at Norfolk State, who goes on to take the job at Auburn.
Right. On the heels of a 30-4 season at Norfolk State, and don't bury the lead on that, Drew. Norfolk State went to the tournament as
13 seed, I believe.
Something like that. Yeah, 13 or 13 seed. They were a 13 seed, which was the highest.
That was better than Tamika Reed and Jackson State, who was a 14 seed.
Yes. Yeah. Jackson State's team from about 2 or 3 seasons ago, where they played LSU as a 14 seed.
Yes.
But yeah, Norfolk State's men and women won the MEAC. But the women, of course, were the dominant team, 30-4. Vickers parlays it into a gig where he leaves Norfolk State, where he'd been the men's assistant coach, been the head coach of the women's program, and parlays it into an SEC job at Auburn. Yeah, that was pretty significant. And then of course, Southern, while we're talking about the women, we can't miss Southern University. Southern's women won the SWAC
and laid the egg in the tournament.
But no, Drew, they got to win in the tournament. You forgot about that.
Oh, I'm off a year. You're right.
Yeah, you're thinking about Southern.
Men. I'm thinking about the men.
Okay, yeah, you're thinking about the men. But Southern's women. Don't forget, this was the second in the past 3 years, I think, that they won. Because remember, they knocked off that Jackson State team that everyone kind of thought was unbeatable. The year after they went, I think it was Tamika Reed's last year. Tamika Reed's last year. They knocked them off in the semifinals. And then I think they won in the championship. So this was like the second in the past 3 years that Southern's women won. Well, this time, Southern's women went to the NCAA tournament. Of course, they do that whole opening round, first four kind of thing. And this time they got a win. Southern's women got a win, which I think was the first SWAC women, the first ever NCAA tournament victory. I don't know I know it was for Southern, but I want to go so far as maybe for SWAC women. SWAC women's basketball, was it a first? Might have been a first. But I don't know. It was pretty historic moment. So Southern's women just keeps winning. Like right now, this same program in the fall or winter, in the month of November and December, have been pretty significant this year, where they've been knocking off Big 12 teams and first in SWAC women's basketball. Yeah, so that's kind of historic win for Southern women. Let's see what else we got. Division II. 2 CIAA teams advanced in the NCAAs with a win. Virginia State and Fayetteville State advanced to the second round of the NCAA Division II tournament for the first time in over a decade, I believe.
Yeah.
I think that was on the men's side, if I'm not mistaken. Just kind of glancing through here.
I just want you to get to the SIAC.
Okay. You want to know those SIAC coaching changes or just in general?
How about
go ahead.
After a dominant season by Miles men going 19-1 in conference play, with a first round loss in the SIAC basketball tournament to eventual champion Savannah State, who, if we're going to talk about coaching changes, let's start off the season fresh out of the new year. Coach Horace Broadnax walks away from Savannah State. Before
conference play starts.
No.
Or
it was in January. Conference play.
In the midst, okay.
Conference play.
Okay.
Cleavon Thompson takes over as interim coach. He was in chair too for Coach Broadnax. And after winning the first couple games, they go on a little bit of a losing streak, but then they wind up coming into the basketball tournament hot and knock off Tuskegee in the championship game in one for the ages. And once again, I was there for that one because it was held on the campus
at Morehouse, right?
Of Morehouse College. So how about that one? And then on the women's side, how about Miles repeating as SIAC champions on the women's side, winning both the regular season and the conference tournament title?
Yeah, Miles, a basketball school. easily. Miles College, a basketball
Yes,
school.
they are definitely in the basketball business.
No, I didn't skip over. Look, I mentioned the 2 CIAA men's basketball wins. I did. Didn't I mention them?
Yes.
I did. You must have turned your or there must have been a skip. I did mention Virginia State.
Your Wi-Fi must be buffering, Steve.
I mentioned the CIAA men's basketball wins, right? Virginia State and Fayetteville State, right? I think I got that right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I knew I mentioned it. I want to get called out for, but that's why you guys are here. I told y'all there's going to be some things that we may forget or miss, and you guys go ahead and let us know. Now, coaching changes that occurred in the women's level. Okay, we already talked about Larry Vickers leaving Norfolk State, going to Auburn. Well, that left Coppin State. Coppin State's Jermaine Woods leaves to go to Norfolk State. He becomes the new coach at Norfolk State, and Daryl Mosley becomes the new coach at Coppin.
Can we stop right there, Brian?
Yeah.
We forgot to mention one that we don't mention too often. How about Lincoln, Missouri getting to the men's Division II basketball tournament?
Okay.
Yeah, we forgot about that one. As a number 7 seed.
Did they win a game in the tournament?
I don't remember if they won a game or not, but the fact Lincoln, Missouri, we don't talk about them since they're outside of the traditional conferences too often. So I definitely wanted to mention Lincoln of Missouri.
Right. Going back over to the women's side of things. Virginia State's Nadine DeMont leaves Virginia State to coach at Morgan State. The previous coach at Morgan State had retired. Alabama State's Frida Freeman Jackson resigns, and she's replaced by former Texas Southern coach Janetta Hayes. Tim Eatman resigned after 3 years at South Carolina State, and he's replaced by Cedric Baker, who used to spent about 15 years at Savannah State.
16, 17 years.
Yeah, it was a good decade plus at Savannah State, and he's now at South Carolina State. I know there was a new coaching hire. There might have been a few other new coaching hires. I think Winston-Salem State may have had a new coach this past year. I do remember there was a bit of excitement there from our guy Steve. He may be able to share and tell us that, but I thought those were some of the more significant names from the basketball. Anything else from the basketball side of things that we may have? Tierra Terry. Thank you. I think she is a alum, if I'm not mistaken, former player. And yes, be proud because the Rams are 10-1, having a pretty good season. Yes. Yeah. Okay. She left Virginia Union to come home. See? Thank you guys. You guys in the chats. There it is. All right. Yeah. Good stuff. Langston. I know I had a couple of people ask about Langston. They had another good season. I think Langston's men and women both qualified. I think they both won their tournament. But they didn't quite have at least the men, they made it to the 16, but they didn't quite have the season where the year before they had made it to the national championship game. Right. Even though I think this year or in 2025, they were like preseason number 1.
Correct.
They didn't quite have the same type of success in the tournament. So yeah. But I mean, still, I think both Langston programs are having good seasons right now, and I know we'll be talking about them a little bit later in the year. Anything else? I know you had Philander Smith won the inaugural HBCU AC Women's Basketball Championship. And I believe Philander Smith's men, didn't Philander Smith men win the men's side?
I believe so.
Or, I mean, it was, my notes say it was Dillard and Philander Smith in the final. But I think it was Philander Smith that won. And, of course, this was the inaugural year of the HBCU AC in basketball.
Formerly the GCAC.
Formerly the GCAC, yeah.
So I think we didn't beat basketball to death, Brian.
Yeah.
Let's take a break. Let's get on the spring sports. Baseball, softball, track and field.
All right. This will be
quick.
Whatever you guys can help us out with this one. This will be kind of interesting to see what we recall from this one. Because this was, especially with this is like from February to April, May. Softball is going to be good. Okay, yeah, Troy, drop some nuggets in there with softball, Troy. Let us know what you remember. Yeah, please and thank you. Let us know what do you guys recall from the past softball, track and field, and baseball season? Because it seems like so far long ago, but there were a few things that definitely caught our eye from the past year. So, all right, you're watching the BCSN SportsWrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be back in a moment.
This is the Dean of the College of HBCU Sports, Kenyatta Cavill of Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Come mix it up in the lab where the course lecture is in session every Tuesday from 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time on Facebook Live, YouTube Spreaker, or the BCSN app, as we discuss all things about the HBCU sports culture, including exploring the week that was in the sporting HBCU diaspora, as well as the upcoming week of HBCU Sports. With me, the Dean, the College of HBCU Sports, on Dr. Cavill's Inside the HBCU Sports Lab with Mike Washington and Charles Bishop. Course lecture dismissed.
Looking for the ultimate cultural experience of 2026? The Zora Outdoor Festival of the Arts is where you need to be. From January 30th to February 1st, Eatonville, Florida will come alive with incredible live performances. Immerse yourself in interactive art. Shop from over 80 vendors. Take a journey through history with a new virtual tour app. And enjoy family-friendly STEM activities. Plus, don't miss the unforgettable R&B tribute to the legends. This is more than a festival. It's a celebration of Eatonville's rich cultural heritage. Visit zorafestival.org for tickets.
You're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics. There's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
When it comes to professional learning, teachers deserve better. From the leader in online learning, Stride brings you the Stride Professional Development Center, an on-demand library of mobile-friendly courses that gives teachers choice and flexibility, allowing them to learn anytime and anywhere. Our dynamic courses provide bite-sized learning and help educators advance their knowledge while also gaining professional development hours. It's time you take charge of your learning. Visit us today to get started.
It's never too early to plant the seed, to share the tradition, and instill a sense of pride in your HBCU with your little ones. HBCU Pride and Joy Children's Boutique helps you share your school spirit with a wide selection of adorable kids apparel and accessories officially licensed from your favorite HBCU. Visit hbcupridejoy.com and follow us on all social media at HBCU Pride Joy on Facebook and Twitter.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
All right, welcome back to the BCSN SportsWrap. Bryan and A.D. back with you as we try the best as we can to recap the best moments of 2025 in HBCU sports.
I was gonna say, before we get into baseball and softball, I want to kind of go through some of the championships for some of the other Olympic sports from the spring.
Okay.
And help me out once again. Help me out if I missed something. How about Alabama State in men's tennis in the SWAC?
Okay. Yep.
Florida A&M in women's tennis.
Yep.
Golf. I believe FAMU won golf.
FAMU men, right? Golf.
Won golf. Don't recall who won the women's golf. How about track and field? Thanks, Kelvin. Alabama State on the men's side, FAMU on the women's side.
That's the indoor and outdoor. Yep.
Yeah.
Indoor by the Alabama State, outdoor for the
FAMU.
For FAMU. Yep.
Yeah. How about Benedict and SIAC preventing Morehouse from getting to the trifecta on the men's side in track? In track/cross country, after Morehouse won the cross country championship and the indoor championship, Benedict coming in and defeating Morehouse to win the outdoor championship, with Morehouse taking second place, and it came down to the final race, the 4x4.
Okay.
Let me see if I can go and that's the 5th straight outdoor championship for Benedict on the men's side. See if I can find any more.
As you're talking about track.
Howard. Oh
yes.
Howard wins men's golf in the NEC.
Okay. Howard's women, Drew, on the track and field side of things, captured their 4th consecutive indoor title.
Right. I believe didn't A&T take the track championship in their conference?
They did.
I can't remember which one it was.
Actually, them and Hampton had a good year in the CAA track.
Yes.
You're gonna make me go look up what month did that occur in?
That would have been April, or either April or May. South Carolina, while you looked it up, South Carolina State, 5th consecutive men's tennis title, and 6th consecutive women's tennis title. Tuskegee captured the women's track title in the SIAC. So those are some of the.
Yeah, here we go. A&T's men won the indoor CAA. Let me see who won the outdoor.
Shaw's women won the CIAA women's tennis. I believe that takes care of all of the.
Oh, Lincoln, Missouri also had a successful run in track.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yes.
I think on the outdoor, hold on, I'm gonna pull up here. Let's see. So let's see. A&T's men won their first outdoor CAA title. So they won the indoor and outdoor. Hampton's women finished second in the outdoor. I thought Hampton captured the out. Hampton did something. I don't know, but maybe second is what they did.
Claflin men and Winston-Salem women took the CIAA track titles. Bowie State took softball in the CIAA.
Did you mention this? Did you mention that Winston-Salem State won the inaugural flag football championship in the CIAA?
I did not, and thank you, Steve.
Yeah, shout out to the WSSU Rams on that. What else did we miss? I feel like we could.
I think we hit all the Olympic sports.
Yeah. Are we including volleyball this fall as an Olympic sport?
When we get to that portion of the show.
Oh, you want to save that for later?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I'm going through the spring. We're going through the spring.
Oh, you're going through spring. Oh, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, that brings us to the baseball side of things.
We can start off with before we even got to tournament play. We can start off with the unfortunate passing of Michael Coker in late April, and a lot of it due to his passing caused the cancellation of the Black College World Series, an event that you and I had participated in the past.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Michael Coker, who was dealing with cancer,
Yes.
and lost, the fight with that, and so of course, Black College Nines. Michael was one of the premier voices in covering HBCU, very well known and respected. And I know you kind of jumped in and filled in as a writer. Also LA Bachelor, another
Recently.
Very recently. Two brothers, part of the HBCU Pro Sports Media Association, and I was worried. And you guys in the chats, and this is where we love the chats here. If there's any other names of legends that we lost, whether it be sports media, athletics, please post them. Because that was the one thing I didn't, admittedly, didn't research, because inevitably you always forget something. Like I just seen a media entertainment one of those, which you're like, hey, these are some of the Black voices that we've lost in entertainment, and
like Malcolm Jamal Warner
like,
and stuff.
Yeah, Angie Stone, names like
Yes.
that, and I'm like, man, did they forget me? So I'm looking through the comments to see did y'all forget anybody? Because inevitably, nobody keeps. I'm sure somebody does. Rather, I shouldn't say nobody keeps, but somebody usually keeps a running Rolodex of people that we've lost. So if you guys think of any names, legends that we've lost, please post them in the chat so we can go. Yeah. In terms of a basketball thing, Angie Stone was on her way to the CIAA tournament.
Yes.
When she tragically passed. Okay. HBCU baseball. So I think we cannot underscore and bury the lead here. The SWAC championship game between Bethune-Cookman and Florida A&M is probably, I'm talking all games, all sports in 2025. It is one of the top 5 games of the year. Now, that's one of the things I would love for you guys in the chat to be thinking about. What were your top 5 games? And I asked a few guys in our group to give me some ideas. Charles Bishop gave me some good ideas. Doc sent me some as well. But this game, the championship game between Bethune and Florida A&M, first off, is a rivalry. I mean, we just got to keep it.
Championships run through Florida in baseball.
I hate to say it, Swag. It does. I mean, last year was a blip. Last year, which Grambling, I'll praise the Grambling, good squad, but that was a blip. And they had to do it they had to beat some Florida schools, did they not? They had to beat some Florida schools to get there. Okay, So just letting y'all know. But what a game. And the fact that Bethune-Cookman had, let me see, I had it.
Second time in 3 years those two teams have met in the finals?
Yes, second time in 3 years. The last time Florida A&M won that contest, right? Bethune was having a record season. I mean, they played 30 games. 30 games. I think Bethune went 27-3. No, 24-6. If I'm not mistaken, they went 24-6. And I mean, they were the 1 seed. FAMU was the 2 seed. FAMU also finished 24-6, but by virtue of the tie-breaking games, those two teams played each other 6 times. And no, correct me. Go ahead.
It's 3. They only played 3 this year.
Okay. They played. That's right, because everybody only played. That's right. Okay. First off, new rules for baseball this year. Loved them. Loved what baseball did in the SWAC. Right. Thank you for reminding me. You play everybody in the
except
in the
for
league,
one team,
except for one. So that means you're playing 10 opponents
of the 11
game series. 10 of 11 in 3-game series. Right. Beautiful. Love the way the SWAC did that, and the fact that FAMU and Bethune came down to a 3-game series, which was actually played in Sanford, Florida. 3-game series played in Sanford, Florida, because of renovations that they were doing in Daytona Beach, right? Found that out. But Bethune swept FAMU in that series. Swept them. But it still came down to
the last day.
The last day, last weekend, because both teams finished 24-6.
Yes.
Right? And so, but because of the tiebreaker, FAMU, who lost their number 1 pitcher early in conference play.
Number 1, if I remember correct.
Did they really? Bethune still had pitching, though, boy. That's
but crazy. Bethune had more pitching, but both teams were down their number 1 by the end of the season.
Okay. Good point. But Bethune was the team that everybody had favored, or one of the favorites, and they looked the part. FAMU was the team that had lost like 8 or 9 starters from the year before, and really was a young, quote unquote, inexperienced team. But Coach Shoup did a great job of getting that team to the championship game.
And correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, didn't FAMU lose both their Friday and their Saturday starter during the season?
No, because
a portion of the season. I know Friday starter was gone all season. Well, most of the season, most of the conference.
Well, the Friday starter was the number 1.
Yes. Ranger. Yes, he was gone for most of the conference season.
No, the young man who was the number 2 was a true freshman, Garrett Workman. He became the number 1 after that happened. And then I don't know if there was another injury or not, but I know I don't know. Somehow FAMU managed to make it work.
Oh, there was another injury, Brian.
There was. Okay, I don't remember.
No, I'm not talking to the pitching staff. The other injury occurred during the tournament.
Well, yes, that occurred during the tournament. You're talking about to Jalen Niles, the shortstop for FAMU. Yeah, that occurred in the tournament.
And sidebar, the round of applause he got when he reappeared at Rickwood Field in the stadium from both teams, from both sets of fans, there on crutches for the championship game was just astonishing, Brian. Being injured on Friday night. He was injured on Friday, and then he was back in the for the championship game on Sunday on crutches, but he was there to cheer his team on.
Yeah. But let's so I'm just going to go through the box, the recap for those of you who may have forgotten that outstanding game. 11-9, FAMU leading in the, let's see, what inning was it? Was it the bottom of the 9th?
Yes.
Bottom of the 9th inning. FAMU's leading 11-9. Bethune has 2 runners on. Now, what's even crazier is FAMU had a 9-6 lead midway into the 8th inning. Again, FAMU had a 9-6 lead in the 8th inning. Bethune would score 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning to cut it to 9-8. I'm looking at the box score here because I got it. Yeah. So FAMU scored again going into the bottom of the 8th inning. FAMU had a 9-6 lead. Bethune scored 2 to cut it to 9-8. FAMU missed out on an opportunity to score in the top of the 9th. They go to the bottom of the 9th inning with a 1-run lead. They get to 1 out away. 1 out away. Bethune-Cookman's Andre Martinez comes to the plate with 2 outs, 2 runners aboard. And I'm not going to show the video. I don't have the video. I don't want to see that video again. But let's just say Martinez smokes a ball to the furthest part of the park, Drew. Oh God, no, you don't have. Did you pull up video or do you just have pictures of it? Oh, curse you, Drew. Curse you, Drew. Martinez smokes a ball to deep center, where literally it's 400 feet to dead center. Bethune-Cookman walks off with a 3-run win, 3-run homer to win 11-9. That was Martinez's 20th home run of the season, which tied a single season record at Bethune. It was Bethune-Cookman's first SWAC tournament title, and they would go on to make their first NCAA regional appearance since 2017 when they were in the MEAC.
Brian, backstory on these shots. This shot and this shot. I was standing literally behind home plate, knowing that it was the bottom of the 9th inning, and knowing that I was going to capture the shot of the championship. Little did I know, and I'm just snapping. Little did I know I was going to be capturing a walk-off, but I do have camera ready because this was going to be the moment. And like I say, just standing behind the fence at home plate, I was able to get these two shots. Where I had more shots, but these were the two that I am sharing with everybody. And the reaction for the center fielder as the ball goes over is priceless.
Didn't have a chance at it. Never had a chance at it.
It's priceless.
I mean, again, if that's not one of the top 5 games of the year, you show me 4 better ones. Because I think across all sports, when we talk about outcomes that just, I mean, what an outstanding 5 runs in the final 2 innings to win that game. Outstanding job. I saw Coach Hernandez at the Florida Citrus at the and then and then what makes it even worse is to lose the way we did to them in football. So I mean, I'm ready for 2025 to be over. I mean,
Bethune owned fam last year.
Hey, we lost to Bethune. Hold on, and I can even go one further, Drew. Basketball. So
did Fab beat Bethune in anything last year?
You got me. I mean, we didn't beat them in the baseball in the regular season. We lost on a last second. We lost in the last play of the SWAC championship game on a walk-off homer. The men and women's basketball team blew leads in the final regular season game at Bethune. I was there. It was disgusting. Both teams lost games like you had a lead down the stretch and you couldn't close them out. Both, and then we go to so that's what started it, Drew. It was basketball. Basketball started, then it went to baseball, and then football. Well, I mean, look, I don't have to. Oh, thank you, Gail. At least softball won.
But softball, when it came down to the one they needed to win,
well,
was not able to get that one.
Yeah, that was a championship. Well, at least softball beat Bethune. But yeah, no, man, that 2025 was a. But I mean, just in general, that was a great game. Great game in general. What else in baseball, Drew? In the SIC, how about Albany State? Not only would they win the SIC tournament, they would actually win a game in the NCAA Division II tournament.
Yes.
Congratulations. And if I'm not mistaken, that wasn't an Albany State team that was they weren't a 1 seed this year.
They were like a 3 or 4.
Yeah, which is kind of rare because we've seen some Albany State teams
Albany
that were like a
usually
1 seed.
been 1 or 2 fighting Spring Hill for the number 1. It's usually either been one or the other.
And this year they got it done as the 4 seed.
I think it was a good fact they weren't hosting the tournament.
The HBCU AC. Of course, again, everything was the inaugural. Thank you. Rattlers did beat them in tennis. So, all right, thank you. I appreciate y'all making me feel a little bit better. I was Jesus, man. But those ones were memorable to say the least. The Hope Credit Union Baseball Championship, where the Talladega College was a juggernaut this year in baseball. I think they even win the HB. They even won the Black College National Championship, if I'm not mistaken, right? In baseball.
With no tournament, it was a. I don't know. Did they? I think they did. I think they were the lower level champion by Black College 9.
Right. Congratulations, Talladega had a very good season this year. Let me see. Individually, we had a handful of guys get drafted. 5 players from SWAC programs were drafted in the 2025 MLB draft. Kyle Walker of Grambling State was selected by the Houston Astros in the 8th round, the 246th pick. Brady Popple of Florida A&M University, the catcher, was drafted in the 13th round with the 386th pick by the San Francisco Giants. Cameron Thibodeau of Southern, who was he was the SWAC player of the year, led the nation in slugging percentage, 847, also was the SWAC newcomer of the year. He was selected by the San Diego Padres in the 16th round. And then a pair of Alabama State Hornets were selected in the 20th round. Juan Cruz, first baseman, and Cameron Douglas, an outfielder. They were selected in the 20th round by the Washington Nationals and Detroit Tigers, respectively. So 5 HBCU players were drafted. Yeah.
How about talking about individual awards? How about Elijah Pinckney from Morehouse, Brian?
Oh, yeah, your guy. Talk about him.
First Division II player to be selected in the as a part of the HBCU Swingman Classic, and to top it off, he received the 2025 T-Mobile Impact Award for service and leadership. Pinckney leading Morehouse with a 406 batting average on the season.
This was the 3rd year of the HBCU Swingman Classic.
Correct. And it was held here in Atlanta.
I was going to say the first time that it was east of the Mississippi. Really, I got a chance to finally go. Great crowd, great atmosphere. Man, it underscores even amongst HBCU baseball. I thought that was look, it had done pretty well in Seattle the inaugural year. And I think it was in Dallas last year, 2024. Yes. And it did pretty decent from my just casual perspective. But I just thought, that's a significant one. Half our leagues and schools don't have baseball. I mean, there's only
two of our 4 conferences sponsor baseball.
Support it, yeah, sponsor baseball. There's like 3 MEAC schools that play. Or is it 2? 4. Okay. 4 that play in the NEC.
NEC.
And
then there are, I believe there's Claflin, Virginia State, and Lincoln, PA on the Division II level that play outside of the SIAs, and West Virginia State. Does West Virginia State play? Yes, West Virginia State plays baseball.
Yeah.
On the Division
A&T
II level.
A&T plays in the CAA.
I'm sorry, I'm one short. Bluefield. So there are 5 Division IIs, Bluefield State.
And 5 from the CAA/MEAC.
4.
Well,
4.
Well, you don't count. You're not counting. Well, so I was trying to get to
you got Delaware State. You have Delaware State, Coppin State,
Norfolk State, Coppin,
Norfolk State, and I believe
that's it. Who's the 4th?
No, there's a 4th one.
I don't think there's a 4th.
Yes, there's a 4th one. Is it MES? I think it's MES.
Maryland Eastern Shore?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Maybe you're right.
Yes.
And then you have A&T in the CAA. So you got the 12 SWAC schools, 5 and plus 5. So that's 17 of 21 Division I HBCUs. And then you've got what you just mentioned, the SIC
I believe all 14 teams play in the 13. I believe 13 teams in the SIAC play,
Right.
and then 5.
Okay.
And then you have, is it 8 in the HBCU AC? It's either 6 or 8 in the HBCU AC.
Yeah. Now I don't know where Edwin asked. Look, where is the All-Star game for 2026?
I believe it's in Philly.
Because that's where the Swingman Classic is a part of the MLB All-Star.
I believe it's Philly this year.
Ooh, that's gonna be good. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So that means it'll be. Well, I don't know, Drew, because it should be an AL city. Because it was hosted by the Braves, so that was an NL city. It should be an American League city.
Let's see. 26 is Philly, Citizens Bank. 27 is Wrigley.
Ooh. Wow. Man, that's awesome. Well, wait a minute. I always thought they alternated leagues, NL, AL.
I thought they
Maybe
did
I'm wrong.
too.
Maybe I'm thinking about something else.
That probably how they used to be. Now it's just next man up.
Okay. This is a great reminder here by my guy. Make plans to attend the Andre Dawson Classic in Vero Beach at the Jackie Robinson Training Complex. This was the first year that they had a non-HBCU program as a part of that. I think it was Missouri was a part of that this year. And then, of course, don't forget the Cactus Jack, which is the weekend before, which is hosted by the Houston Astros Foundation and the Cactus Jack Foundation, which features usually features Texas Southern, Prairie View, Grambling State, Southern. Who else? This year it had Alabama A&M and who was the sixth school, Drew? Who am I forgetting? I had the two Texas schools, the 2 Louisiana schools, Alabama A&M. Oh, there's somebody who I'm forgetting. Oh, Jackson State, a Mississippi school. Jackson State. And I think what happened was Alabama A&M came in because usually Alcorn would have been a part of it, or at least Alcorn has been, because usually they try to keep it to the Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas schools. But I think for whatever reason, Alcorn couldn't be a part of it, or I think they had a new coach.
Brian, have you seen Alcorn baseball lately?
Okay. Enough said. Yeah. But I thought Alabama A&M represented themselves pretty well. They represented themselves pretty well. Yeah, so I started seeing baseball schedules come out. So let's go. HBCU's programs. Let's get those schedules out, man. You know, let's get them going. I don't know what's taking so long. I've seen Bethune-Cookman. Bethune-Cookman had their schedule posted like the last week of the football season. Come on now. All right. Anything else in baseball anything we left on the table there for baseball?
How about the first 4 minority baseball prospects with their annual All-Star game, and then their first 4 that they had featuring Tuskegee, Miles, and Morehouse.
Okay.
And that was held
always do good work. They've even included and started incorporating softball over the last couple seasons, so I think that's been a positive.
Yeah. And then they have their annual All-Star games. Those were played in the Charlotte area this past year.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
Shout out to Alex Weiss and Reginald Hollins and all those guys over there.
Yeah.
Softball, Brian.
Softball. Let's mention
Jackson
softball.
State.
Jackson State back-to-back SWAC champions in the SWAC. But it wasn't. I tell you that while Jackson State may have been the story, they were, personal privilege. I enjoyed the run that Florida A&M and first-year coach Brittany Beal put together. I mean, what an outstanding season she had.
How about Howard over in the MEAC?
Howard, dominant run in the MEAC.
No, you talk about dominant run.
Regular season?
Yeah. If you want a dominant run, Brian, you need to look at Steelman in the HBCU AC.
Wow. Oh, yeah. Definitely. They swept the regular season and conference title.
Yes. And I'm trying to remember who won the CIAA in softball. Trying to see if I can find it right quick. Help me out, Steve. I know you're still in here.
Drew, take the chat for a second.
All right.
I'm going to let you have it for a second.
All right. Well, with that, while I look for the CIAA softball champion, what we're going to do now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're kind of going to the summer, and then we'll get into the fall sports. You are watching the BCSN SportsWrap right here on the Black College Sports Network. We'll be right back in just a moment.
For over 30 years, HBCU Image has been more than just an apparel store. We've been a movement, a statement, a legacy. We celebrate the pride, the purpose, and the culture that make historically black colleges and universities legendary. Whether you're a student or a lifelong supporter, our gear lets you wear your HBCU story with confidence and style. Because when you wear HBCU Image, you're not just wearing clothes. You're wearing culture. You're wearing pride. You're wearing purpose. HBCU Image, a Kenny T's company.
From cancer care to accidental injuries to cardiac care, we all know that there are times that you can't control what happens in your life. But with Globe Life Family Heritage, you can be prepared to weather the storm when it comes. Call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com. With over 25 years of serving communities, Dr. Beverly Eagles Rogers is here to help you and your family through difficult times. Dr. Beverly takes pride in Globe Life being one of the few companies that returns 100% of premiums to clients that stay healthy. So for more information, call Dr. Beverly Eagle Rogers at 877-300-8269 or visit the website at globelifefamilyheritage.com.
Are you hungry for authentic Caribbean food like jerk chicken, oxtail, red snapper, shrimp, tofu, and rasta pasta? Well, find your way over to Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta.
Them belly full, but we hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, open daily from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. And on Friday and Saturday, we're open till 4 a.m. Come to Mango's and put some spice in your life.
So we've got a good thing going.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, 180 Auburn Avenue, right next to Royal Peacock in downtown Atlanta. For more info or directions, call 404-698-3992 or log on to mangoscaribbeanrestaurant.com. For instant coupons, text MANGOS to 313131.
Tell your mama hungry, papa hungry, brother hungry.
Mango's Caribbean Restaurant, authentic Caribbean cuisines.
Open up the door, tell your mama hungry.
It's the 37th Annual Zora Festival. It's in Edenville, Florida, Saturday, January 31st and February the 1st. On Saturday, the all-white party tribute to Frankie Beverly with Maze guitarist Jubu. Bread, Sunset, and Taisha Williams. On Sunday, the Line Dance Party Live with Jeter Jones, Mike Clark Jr., and Boss Lady Coco. Tickets available at zorafestival.org.
When you're looking for the latest information on Southern University sports, the Southwestern Athletic Conference, and HBCU athletics, there's only one place to go. Tune in to the Carlos Brown Show, exclusively on the Black College Sports Network.
We are back here on the BCSN SportsWrap. A.D. Drew here. Brian Fulford had to step away for a moment. He shall return in just a moment. But in the meantime, I need some of you guys to tell me, what have we missed thus far? We've gone through the first half of 2025. What were some of the biggest stories over the summer administratively that happened? Some of the surprising coaching changes as we got ready for football season. What were some of the highlights that you remember from your respective media days? CIAA, BAC, SIAC, SWAC. I know one that comes to mind is the GAF when talking about Howard versus Hampton during the BAC Media Day, where Hampton no longer a member of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference. And help me out, Brian, who was hosting the BAC Media Day who said something about who called Hampton Howard when interviewing Coach Larry Scott at Hampton? Who was that?
Oh, that was Shady.
That was Shady McCoy. Shady McCoy. I'm just thinking about things happening over the summer, Brian.
Who thankfully, coincidentally, Drew, we have not seen or heard from him in HBCU spaces since that moment.
I wonder if he's a candidate for the Howard job.
Ooh. He wanted it. He sure as hell wanted it, didn't he?
Well, he's got to remember which HU is which HU.
Man, I think he knew he was trolling, man. He was trolling, man.
He was trying to get a rise.
Yeah. Yeah, he was definitely trying to get a rise, but
you know what else? Anything else that you remember from Media Day? Media days. Well, speaking of Baltimore, the fact that the BAC football Media Day moved from Norfolk to Baltimore, I think that was significant. It was a lot easier on the travel there to Baltimore.
I think one of the things, didn't we mention about the fact that,
and also
somebody's
the CIAA moving from Salem, Virginia to North Carolina for their Media Day. Now the problem with that, Brian, let me say that the problem with that is the CIAA Media Day being the same day as what was the SWAC Media Day?
No, when did the
SIAC and SWAC were back-to-back days.
Thank you.
But CIAA was the same day as
the SWAC. Yeah, so the coordination of the timing. Thank God they have this new. Thank God they have this new HBCU for us thing, where maybe now these commissioners can now all kind of work together and say, "Hey guys, let's not do our media days on the same day with each other, right? And let's be a little more coordinated so that we can get proper attention on all of our programs, at the same time."
If we're going to do them in the same week, can we allow at least one day between the two so people can travel back and forth? Because a lot of these media days are covered by a lot of the same people and the same entities, and you want to make sure that the entities are able to cover. If you're going to do one on Tuesday, the next person needs to be on Thursday or Monday, Wednesday.
That would
Not
be nice.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, unless they're within a hour and a half, 2 hour radius of each other. But even still, that's tough because of the equipment that you have to set up.
I love your Tuesday, Thursday idea. Give me a Division II school on Tuesday Give me a Division I on Thursday, you know, and to do it that way. Do it that way. Give me somebody on a Tuesday, somebody on a Thursday, you know. And yes, they are all thinking independently, but hopefully because of this agreement, which also was something that new happened this year, the HBCU for us, where it's a concerted effort. At least that's what they publicize, right? Where all the commissioners are now going to get together. Maybe they can all coordinate accordingly and get together and say, hey, we're not going to schedule our football media days on back-to-back days, and certainly not on the same day.
One more thing, Brian. Hopefully we can plan better cities for them. No offense to Salem, Virginia. No offense.
You've never been to Salem.
Yes,
did you
I
go
did.
to Salem before?
Yes, I went to media day in Salem.
Oh, okay. Well, don't hate on Salem.
No. Let me finish my point.
Okay.
No offense to that. No offense to Durham, North Carolina. But let's keep these media days in cities that are easy to fly in and out of. Not I gotta fly, rent a car, and drive. Let's get them where we can fly into. Baltimore was so convenient to fly into Baltimore. Didn't need a car once you got to Baltimore. You could just Uber where you needed to go, Uber to the stadium, everything else. Atlanta, another city like that. Birmingham, easy to fly to. Charlotte would be a good city. Even when it was in Norfolk wasn't that bad. You could fly in and out of Norfolk. It's a little bit more pricier, but it was still a decent flight feeling. But when you get into your Salems and your Durhams and Macon, Georgias and stuff like that, we got to do better. We got to keep them in cities where we can fly, because a lot of our media have to move around and are coming from all over and want to cover.
I'm going to give you another missed opportunity here. I still think these conferences are missing out on the opportunity to create more of a bazaar. And I'm talking like I'm not saying bizarre as in strange. I'm talking bizarre as in a fair type atmosphere where open it up to a few sell tickets to fans. Create an opportunity where true diehard football fans can be a part of this event, which is the debut of the football season. I mean, for SIAC and CIAA, MEAC, and SWAC fans, this is the kickoff to your football season, is it not? So what better way to get excited about the season than creating a way for fans of these institutions to purchase tickets to be a part of the MEAC media days. I don't care if you only sold 100 tickets. Give 100 fans the opportunity to be a part of this event. And I bet you they'd sell. I mean, I don't know even if you sold it for $40, I bet you you'd sell. I bet you'd sell money. I bet you it would, Drew. I think within the swag, it easily sell, because what you're doing is you're creating an atmosphere that allows fans to be a part of this. Let them, call me crazy. I mean, let them be a part of the experience. I think I've seen enough of the SWAC over the last few years, and I've been to the SIAC. The SIAC, no offense, Drew, is too rushed. It's like, hey, we got a 2.5-hour window here at this great facility. We need you in and out. But the SIAC really is a nice event, but I feel like for as big as that conference is, they don't do it right at all. Not at all.
Well, Brian, let's play the game. What does the SWAC need to do? Because the SWAC is also rushed, Brian. Because
I agree.
It's because if you don't talk to them before lunchtime in the SWAC, you gonna miss them because they getting on their planes, they hopping in their vehicles, they are driving back.
Yeah.
So now
I think
I
the
will
SWAC
say
is-
this. I will say this. Of all the media days that I have been to, obviously the BAC is easy because it's smaller. You can do a lot more table touching with the BAC.
Mhm.
But CIAA also the ones that I have been to have gotten it right. You have that time where you can talk to the people because the CIAA, kind of like the SWAC does, they have their stuff going on stage, but they're allowing the teams to also go around during that same time. SIAC, you have to wait till everything is done in the main room before you get to do your one-on-ones. So SWAC, everybody just want to talk to everybody in the SWAC, and they're just like, it always seems like there's not enough time for the interviews, and SWAC has too many obligations that they have to do. Well, it does not leave time for the independent outlets. You got to do your ESPN piece. You got to do your HBCU Go piece. You got to do your SWAC video call piece. You got to do about 2-3 other pieces. That's an hour right there. There's only about 10-15 minutes really on their schedule with the SWAC media days that they allow. So if those coaches are not willing to stay around after they finish their obligations and make sure that they talk to a few of the entities, because they'll never hit all of them.
No.
It's tough.
I have said this. So if you don't want to do a 2-day event, SWAC, the SWAC needs to do in 2 sessions. They need to do one division from 9 a.m. to noon, break for lunch, and do the other division from 1 to 4. Now, the challenges of arrival and departures and all that stuff. Look, I'm sorry. Birmingham is a big enough city that you should be able to get a flight out of Birmingham if you plan it properly.
Most people, a lot of the teams fly to Atlanta and drive to Birmingham.
Okay, well,
especially the Texas teams.
Even better, because there are late night flights that fly out of Atlanta. So I think that to give people more time, right, would to me make more sense to do a 3-hour window where 6 teams. Now, I think if 6 teams have the opportunity to move around to the various places in a 3-hour window, that's a whole lot better than trying to force 12 teams to do it in a 4-hour window. Right? So
yeah, because that gives you 6 hours to table touch.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and again, the whole purpose of Media Day
is
to try to let as many media entities touch and talk to your schools. That's the whole purpose. And if you, as a coach and a program, can't spend 3 hours of grind, and we're talking 3 hours, Drew, 3 hours. That's it. Give me from 9 to noon, and I bet you can hit everybody, or at least 80% of the people.
Well, Brian, let's back that up. They only really need to give an hour to hour 15 to media, because a lot of it is already taken up with scheduled media appearances that they have to do at Media Day. They've got to get on their stage for the ESPN portion. They've got to get on stage for the HBCU Go portion. They've got to do the SWAC TV portion. They've got to do the HBCU Game Day portion. With those specific media partners. They have to do the video call. So go ahead.
Let me respond. Look, speaking as an entity that does a whole live show, right? But whether it's podcasters or media entities that do live episodes and whole shows, that's up to every SID has got to be able to get to these places and say, hey, you got 5 minutes or 7 minutes. All the SIDs are there with their coach anyway. So if your coach is at a table longer than 5, I'm going to say longer than 10 minutes, that's on you, and that's your program's fault. Don't blame that on the podcasters and the media entities. Yeah, whatever it is, you can't put that on the people who are trying to provide. Again, well, look, that again, that's a every school kind of thing. If some of them are, as you say, hanging out, that's that's on every school, right? So I don't know. That's the biggest thing that I would love to see happen. And yes, given the fact, Drew, that you mentioned the CIAA and the SIC, they have just as many teams as the SWAC. They've got to find a way to allow more time. And I think, sadly, I have a sense, and I don't know this, you may tell me if I'm wrong here. I have a sense that the CIAA and the SIC, they don't look at their time with the media as being as valuable as a Division I school. You were two of the oldest HBCU. You were let me back up.
No, not two of you are the two.
Okay, two of the oldest conferences in college football. Let me say that again. You were around. You've been around longer than the SEC. You've been around longer than the ACC. Damn it, own your stuff. You set the table. Tell people we're doing a whole day where we're going to talk to these six. You're going to. That's the mindset of stop thinking like a small Division II school as if that is less than. No, you've got a century plus of history in your conference. And we're deserving of a whole doggone 8 to 9 hour day. And I think there are enough entities this day and age now in 2025, probably more in 2026, because the number keeps growing every year, does it not, Drew?
Somebody comes along with a new podcast, a new website, new social media.
Yes. There are new entities coming on board every year, and we see them. But that's my first thing that I would say to the CIAA and the SIC. You have value. Own your value. Make your stuff more present. Make yourself more accessible. That's what I would say. But so anyway, that's a Christmas wish list for 2026. We'll see whether anybody heard us or paid attention to our complaints.
So, where we want to go? Volleyball before we get into football, Brian.
Yeah, I don't know how much there is on the volleyball tree other than the fact that Prairie View A&M in the SWAC won the regular season. Florida A&M as the 8th seed probably had one of the greatest tournament runs, winning as an 8th seed. They hosted, so the SWAC championship was in Tallahassee. They won their 4th. They've been to the championship every year since being a member of the SWAC. So, and then they ended up winning the title 4th in the last 5 years. Can I say dynasty? It is.
Not yet.
No?
Not yet.
What do you got?
Dynastic, but not dynasty.
Okay, what do you got to do to have a dynasty, though, Drew? What do you got to have?
Give me one more.
You greedy. One more. Greedy. Over in the MEAC, though, Coppin State ended up winning. They hosted and they won on that side in the MEAC. You got how about the Division II and the HBCU ACs?
Division II, the winner was and the SIAC was a non-HBCU as Spring Hill rolled through the SIAC once again. And Shaw won the CIAA women's volleyball and picked up a victory in the D2 volleyball tournament, upsetting Wheeling, number 2 Wheeling in the D2 volleyball tournament.
Well, there's a story that I don't know that we heard about or talked about. Maybe we did, but maybe I missed it. But
Yeah.
congratulations on that.
Number 7 Shaw volleyball team rallied from a 2-0 hold to notch a come from behind 3-2 victory, 17-25, 23-25, 25-22, 25-21, and 15-8 over number 2 Wheeling. The first ever NCAA regional victory improved Shaw's record to 31-5 on the season. They would finish 31-6 on the season.
There you go. Congratulations, Shaw. Yeah. That's a story I didn't think we'd be talking about.
Yes.
How about on the HBCU AC? Anybody, did you capture who won?
Let me get to that one. HBCU.
And I'm just curious, did men's volleyball go away in the SIC?
No, they will be around. I know there's been some shuffling. A couple of teams did drop out. Talladega. Oh no, this is old. I'm sorry. Talladega. No, volleyball is still in the SIC. I'm sorry, I'm off track.
Okay.
I do not have the HBCU AC in front of me.
All right. Well, I mean, we can come back to it or whatever.
All right. That takes care of volleyball.
that takes care of volleyball. Volleyball for a brief mention,
Gotta get it all in there, man.
I will say volleyball is the sport, Drew, that I'm telling you, man, these conferences and schools are missing an opportunity. I have been begging and asking for an HBCU volleyball tournament event to open up the season. I think it's a missed window. There's some schools are going to have to be better and creative about how they draw and market volleyball. That's all I'm going to say. I've seen it. I've seen at other levels volleyball be an attractive sport to watch, a fun and entertaining sport to watch. I think HBCUs are missing out. Right. I'm gonna stop myself there.
All right, let's get into football, Brian. This is what everybody's been waiting on. And let's start off with football. Let's start off with the new faces and new places that we saw this season. How about at Alabama A&M, where Sam Shade was the new?
Hold on. I think you have to preface this by the new faces from the beginning of the off season.
That's what I'm going. That's what I'm going first. I'm starting with the off season.
Okay, that's where I want. So preface that. So preface the off season.
Right. Okay. How about the same faces in new places? Some of the same faces in new places also. So Sam Shade went from Miles to take over Alabama A&M as the new head coach. Obviously, we know, and we're going alphabetical order, everybody. Deshaun Jackson was hired at Delaware State. The story of the year in HBCU football, hands down, was Delaware State.
I won't disagree. I won't disagree.
The turnaround Delaware State.
6 wins above expectation.
Yeah,
I think the best story. No doubt. Go ahead.
Adrian Jones took over at Elizabeth City State as their 15th head coach.
Formerly of Shaw, right?
Yes. Chris Good or Chris Good, depending on where you live at.
Former Indianapolis Colt.
Yeah, was named head coach at Miles. He replaced Sam Shade, who, as we said previously, went to Alabama A&M. Well, where the story of the season was during the summertime was the hire of Michael Vick as the head coach at Norfolk State. That was you know how they had the preseason player of the year, preseason team of the year, Brian? The preseason story of the year was Michael Vick taking over Norfolk State.
Because didn't that happen before Deshaun Jackson?
Yes, he was first.
Okay. Yeah, he was first. Yeah.
And it almost looked like Deshaun Jackson was a reactionary hire.
Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Good point.
Same
and we
face.
questioned. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Same face, new place. Sean Gibbs went to Fort Valley State. Went from A&T to Fort Valley State.
No, other way around. From Fort Valley State to North Carolina A&T.
Yeah, you know what I meant.
Yeah, I got you. Bringing back the original recipe back to A&T.
Yes. How about Tremaine Jackson coming off of Division II runner-up, going
National
to Prairie View
game.
A&M, and if Deshaun Jackson was the story of the year and Delaware State was the team of the year, the coach of the year has to be Tremaine Jackson. Tremaine Jackson, Deshaun Jackson. Which Jackson is coach of the year?
Which
Sorry,
Jackson
Miss Jackson. Sorry, Miss Jackson.
Yeah.
Which Jackson is coach of the year? Is the coach of the year though? Deshaun Jackson for the turnaround, or the fact that Tremaine Jackson has been in back-to-back championship games 2 consecutive years with 2 different teams, despite losing both of them?
Yeah, let's go to coaching background. We had no idea if we knew that Deshaun Jackson knew what the hell he was doing. Be honest. No one had at least with Tremaine, we had seen him perform well. We had a knowledge that, okay, he'd at least done something. We just didn't know when or how long it would take for him to be able to do something at Prairie View. We had no clue as to what Deshaun Jackson would be capable of doing, and he proved everybody wrong.
Yes. All right.
That's the story. That's the coach of the year.
Let me see in the comments. Let me see in the chats. Which Jackson are you going with? Deshaun or Tremaine? All right, moving on. Lamar Manigo was appointed at Shaw. Reggie Barlow replaced Eddie George at Tennessee State.
Low-key story. That was a big story too, if you think about it, right? Because Eddie George leaving came almost.
It was like Eddie George left because the Bowling Green coach went somewhere late, so that everything was late in that cycle.
Right, it opened up a window.
Yeah,
which I think when the Eddie George thing happened, that happened in late February or early February.
March.
Because
I thought it was March when Eddie George left.
Well, here's what you got to remember. Barlow took the job at Tennessee State like 1 to 2 weeks before the start of the UFL. Remember, he was coaching the Washington Defenders.
Yes.
Which was the UFL. He was the head coach.
Right.
So he ended up leaving that job, right, to go coach.
And they win the championship.
And that team won the championship with the interim coach, who's also now going to be a part of his staff at Tennessee State. I mean, amazing how that all kind of went down. Let's not forget all that.
And how about Brian? You left one off your list.
Oh yes, yes.
And this is fallout from this late coaching chain. How about Toriana Morgan showing up to SIAC Media Day to only 2 days later leave to go to Tennessee State?
Yeah. You know who we also forgot in the preseason? T-Buck, Terrell Buckley, taking over at Mississippi Valley State. That occurred in Jackson in January, because I don't think anybody was quite sure who was going to take over at Mississippi Valley, and why would they? I think there were a lot of names being tossed around, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, You're like, Terrell Buckley's in the ground. I'm like, what? How the hell? The last time I saw him, he was losing games in the UFL or the XFL or whatever the hell it was.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. So, last thing on coaches going into the season, 3 former HBCU head coaches, Eddie George, Willie Simmons, and Jerry Mack, made their FBS head coaching debuts. And here's the asterisk on that. 2 of those 3 coaches actually got their teams to bowl games this year.
Yes, they did. Yep. Willie Simmons at FIU for the first time.
Like 18 or 17?
Yeah, since 2018, 2017.
Somewhere from
and then
there.
Jerry Mack, didn't he, was it him or was it, what's his name, who won a conference title?
I know he played in the championship game. Mack was in the championship game.
With what school?
Kennesaw
State?
Yes.
Who was it? No, okay. Yeah, he was in the championship game. But it was, who was the other guy who coached in the championship game and then took a new job? Not Memphis. An HBCU grad, but not an HBCU coach. You guys know who I'm talking about.
Actually, I don't.
Okay. I can't think of his name, but anyway. All right. That's a good point.
All right.
So what type of season did Bowling Green have? Anybody know? Anything? Anyway, go ahead.
All right. Let's see. How about games? We want to get into games of the year, Brian.
All right. So there's 2 different ways to break this down, Drew. I think games of the year, let's go, because there's a lot of interesting games. How about we just go through the ones that we spotlighted here, and then let's give our own top 5.
All right.
And so if there's any game, and this isn't in chronological order, unless you want to go that route. I don't know. I have a feeling I know when these things occurred, but I may be off in terms of which ones occurred first and whatever.
Well, I'll start off with the ones that I can remember, the chronological.
Okay, go ahead.
PV Texas Southern.
Labor Day Classic.
Yep.
Walk-off touchdown.
Yes, walk-off touchdown. And what's that like the theme of the year, Brian?
The theme of the year was how one play shaped this season. There's a little string. What do they call it? A little parallel that you can draw from how one game here and one game there and one game here affected one game over there. You know what I'm saying? I think you could draw an interesting connection between one game, one play moments that shaped the 2025 HBCU football season.
All right. Moving on, Brian. I'm trying to stay in some type of order. Looks like is Texas Southern? No,
yeah,
that
that's
was
what I was going to say.
That was November.
I think that was it.
Yeah, that was November.
Well, I think all of these games started happening around late October.
So let's go. Labor Day Classic would be next up on our list. No, back up. Bama State, Jackson State.
Yeah, because I think that was late October.
That was mid-October.
Okay.
That was like second week of October.
Game of the century.
Yeah.
Game of the century would determine the East Division of the SWAC. And it came down to one play.
Last play.
Last play. 2 yards away from Alabama State having a chance to go to the SWAC championship game.
Yes.
And on the left hash mark, they run a play to the short side, and it leaves everybody scratching their heads like, huh?
Dr. Cavill has a correction, Brian.
I called it the century. You didn't hear me say that? I said the game of the century. I recognize Doc. See, I called it the game of the century, as he called it. You know, that's his term.
Definitely of the quarter century.
Look,
it's non-championship
celebration
game.
Bowl, until that celebration
non-championship game. I would say non-championship game.
It's hard, man. It's hard to call that. And here's the hard part about that, because neither team participated in the national championship game. It's hard to rank that game higher than the last game of the year for me.
That's
because
why
neither one of those two teams. Yeah, because neither one of those, that game ended up, funny as it is, not really determining
anything.
I mean, we could theorize, because even though Alabama State had beaten Prairie View during the regular season, we never got a rematch. Yeah. So, I don't know. All right. What else we got?
That means the next one up on the list is the Las Vegas Classic, Brian. Jackson State Grambling. And the ironic thing about this game, Brian, both starting quarterbacks would get hurt in this game.
Yes.
Both game the game finished with both backup quarterbacks.
Yes. Both backup quarterbacks. And it would come down to a field goal.
Yes.
And you know, and this was, look, Grambling State was the last team to beat Jackson State. Even though, if I'm not mistaken, that one didn't count against the SWAC record.
Yeah, last year.
Yes. But they were the last FCS team to beat Jackson State. And so after that loss to Grambling, they ran the table all the way through the Celebration Bowl and into this year, where they were the number one ranked team for, I don't know, several weeks at the end of last year going into the beginning of this year. And yeah, I mean, Grambling State ended up, you know, I don't know if you can't tell Grambling folks they shocked the world, because they but maybe to a lot of other people it was a shock.
How about Texas Southern Valley?
Yeah. I believe Texas Southern had to rally in that game in the fourth quarter. And Texas Southern ended up with a touchdown in the final minute of the game to beat Valley. And that was a game that I think that was Texas Southern. They played that as a home game. It wasn't at Valley. It was at a school, Houston Baptist or something like that. But it was in Houston. But yeah, Texas Southern had to find a way to win, and they did.
I'm trying to stay with the list here. BCU FAMU, is that next up on the list?
I think the same weekend,
the Florida Classic
was the Florida Classic and the Prairie View. No. I thought that was a Prairie View. I thought it was the Alcorn Jackson.
Yeah, you left that one off.
That was one. Yeah, that those two happened the same weekend. Bethune-Cookman, a Hail Mary on a 4th and 9 from 41 yards out with 28 seconds left, defeats FAMU. A game that would probably cost a coach's job.
I don't know if it was that one or the game after that one.
I think that was that one was the case.
That was the nail in the coffin.
The final
and then
nail.
The other one was the dirt on the coffin.
Yeah, the Bethune was the nail in the coffin. The Mississippi Valley State was the dirt on top of the coffin. That was the final straw. Yeah, there was, and what's crazy is, had he won that, and I'm speaking to a former coach, James Colsey, Florida A&M, had FAMU won that game, they probably have a different feeling going into the next week, which was the rescheduled game against Mississippi Valley State, and probably win that game, which probably gives that you don't think it would? I keep telling you, Drew, it would have gave him another year because he would have finished the season winning 5 of the last 6 games.
Brian, if Quinn Gray was your guy, you were going to get him now while he was hot. While you had the chance. Because if FAM does not go get Quinn Gray this offseason, Quinn Gray is not available next offseason.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
But I still think the move was going to be made.
Thankfully we'll never know, but I still say I'm going to hold to the fact that had he won those final 2 games, he would have had stronger.
It would have been a tougher sale, but I still think the move was going to be made.
I don't think the move is as easy to sell to certain stakeholders. But we'll never know. So anyway.
Speaking of that next week, Valley defeats FAMU and Southern defeats Grambling, so that we, for the first time since expansion, everybody has a win in SWAC and everybody has a loss in SWAC.
We were going into the final week of the season, Drew, 2 teams winless in SWAC play. And by all, expectations, prognosticators, bookmakers, whoever you want to say they are, those teams were supposed to lose. Valley was supposed to lose at home. Southern was supposed to lose with their interim coach to Grambling, and neither team. Look, I swear, I jokingly have said I thought I saw the ghost of Rice and Totten out there playing for Valley, but what Valley did in that day was pretty amazing, and Southern. I mean, look, of the 2 games, put like this, Drew, of the 2 games that I thought would, if you said, hey, Brian, which one of those 2 games, who will get the win? I was more confident that Southern, because Southern in that game had already won, 6 of the last 7? They just kind of had a thing about winning that Bayou Classic, finding a way.
Brian, there's no way in hell you could have sold to me FAMU loses to Valley 2 years in a row.
You're right. Correct. That was the improbable game that I didn't see happening, and now I can't look away and ever again discount.
I will never do another Mike Washington Valley.
Nope, it's done.
On any show that
it's dead. Nope, we never can.
Yeah.
How about Valley's 2? That was the second year in a row, and really in the last 4 years, they've only had 2 Division I wins.
Both of them were the FAMU.
Both of them were the FAMU.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Brian, this may not be the game of the year, but the play of the year occurred in this game. And we have to go down to the Division II level for this one, Brian, that we have dubbed the Wingate Wish.
The Wingate Wish.
This was the Music City Miracle from scrimmage.
Yep.
The Music City Miracle occurred on a kickoff. This was a similar type play where Wingate defeated, where Benedict defeated Wingate in the first round of the Division II playoffs on the last play of the game, Brian. with a former quarterback, last year's starting quarterback at Benedict, throwing the seed across the field to the receiver on the other sideline, and him running down the opposite sideline for the game-winning touchdown. And like we have to do today, Brian, we have to go to the video to make sure nobody stepped out of bounds. It was a lateral, all that good stuff. The referee comes out. Touchdown.
Amazing.
Yes.
Amazing. I agree with you.
It was such a shock. Oh, let me say this. It was such a shock to me that in the post-game interview, because I was at Albany State, I mistakenly said, how does it feel to be the only HBCU with the win after having 5 HBCUs get to the Division II playoffs?
I heard you say
not
that.
knowing that that play had occurred during my interview.
I heard you say that.
Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah. But and the outcome of that, 2 things were the result of that play, Brian.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, it set up the trilogy between Benedict and Albany State, once in the regular season, once in the SIAC championship, and once in the playoffs. But it also allowed for the Division II national championship to be decided on the field and not mythical, and not by the posters.
Right. Yep.
Yes. But if that was the player of the year, Brian, can we say Celebration Bowl 10 was the game of the year, Brian? I mean, let's be real. Prairie View up 21-0 at halftime.
Mm-hmm.
You have a Chennis Berry who in 5 of his 6 quarters in Atlanta had only scored
7
1
points.
touchdown.
Yeah.
For them to explode and come back and set the game to overtime. Wait a minute, let's back that up. To have to kick a field goal to get the game to overtime.
Mm-hmm.
Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 overtimes, Brian. Peaks at 3 million viewers, Brian. So, for all y'all who stayed at home, y'all missed a damn good ball game.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. But thank y'all for watching.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for watching. Yeah, it's hard for a championship game, right? As great as the Alabama State Jackson State game was for the drama, as fascinating as the Florida Classic and Bayou Classic were, how great of a walk-off was the Las Vegas Classic.
Even the SWAC championship game
Labor Day Classic.
Even the SWAC championship game the week before, Brian.
Right. All of those games are definitely worthy of top 5, the Wingate Wish. I mean, those are great walk-off moments. But we had a national championship game, Drew, that turned into one of the greatest comebacks in Celebration Bowl history. B, the
greatest comeback.
Okay.
In Celebration Bowl history.
Look, it's my choice. I want to say one.
I just want to make sure you get that correct.
I would say
from deficit, that is the largest deficit ever in a Celebration Bowl.
Okay, but I mean, can we stop for a minute and not forget that Jackson State sent the game to overtime a few years previously on basically a Hail Mary on like the final play that sent the game to overtime? You forgot Shador, his Hail Mary to Travis?
But Jackson State was never trailing about 21 points.
I get that, but still though, Drew, one play sent the game to overtime.
Correct.
Okay, so like look, even though you're down 21 points, you still got 2 quarters of ball to play. I'm talking Jackson State was on the rope. And you had one last heave-ho, and the man completed the ball to Travis Hunter. I mean, it's like, what the hell just happened? How did they get that? How did they score that? But anyway, yeah. So one of the, however you want to, it was, and then for to have an opportunity and the plays and moments of that game, Drew, where in the overtime, in the double overtime, Prairie View gets an interception. And then they start the ball 25 yards away from a chance to win. They get 7 yards on first down. Incomplete on second down. They lose 3 yards or 4 yards on third down, and the damn kicker misses wide right from 38. When if they never lose a yard, or if they make a first down and they end up kicking, that kid probably makes that field goal, Drew. But it just so happens because of whether it be the distance or nerves or whatever, he misses by like that much. And then we go to a third overtime. And then in fourth overtime, you have the controversial pylon dive. And then, I mean, that's the game of the year. That's the game of the year. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, that's my number one. I mean, you got a better number one?
I mean, game of the year.
No, hold on. We're gonna do that in just a second. We're talking football game of the year, better football game of the year.
I mean, that's tough to top right there, Brian. Given everything that was on the line in that particular game. But I do got a couple other things that I want to throw in here that we kind of swept under the rug.
Sure. Go ahead.
How about the fact that, and this might be a play of the year also, Brian. How about, was it Morgan State or was it Howard that lost on the Hail Mary to Georgetown?
Morgan State.
Yes. How about Miles almost upsetting Morgan State?
Yes, I was going to see if you went there. Yes. Yes.
How about Brian? Never ever in my 40 plus years of watching football to that way, my 53 years on this earth, Brian, have I ever seen a team fumble the snap in victory formation as Jackson State did against Alcorn State to give Alcorn State a chance in that particular ball game?
Man, if that had turned into a situation where they lose that game and Alabama State ends up going to the SWAC championship game, Drew, first off, that might have become my game of the year, and it might have reshaped.
That would have been the play of the year.
It definitely would have been the play of the year. It definitely would have been. But I wonder if it would have reshaped our thoughts about the Bama State Jackson State game.
Well, Brian, there was another play in that game. How about the double reverse that was not a double reverse because it was 2 forward passes?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, but if you know the rules, you know how that goes. I mean,
yes. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. In terms of more controversial plays, the pylon dive was more controversial than that Alcorn touchdown that got taken off the board. Wouldn't you say?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
Because more people once you stated the rule, more people were like, "Oh yeah, that was." More people saw the rule once you reminded them of the rule on that one, versus the pylon dive, which was a total. People still don't believe you when you say that because of the one thing he had to touch the pylon, and he did, and he barely touched it.
Yeah.
He's a hair touched it, something touched it.
Yeah.
So, I've got one on a personal level, Brian. How about, and Sly called this game? We mentioned it earlier. How about Morehouse scoring 21 unanswered in the fourth quarter to beat Tuskegee in Crampton Bowl?
That was the Morehouse Tuskegee Classic, right?
Morehouse Tuskegee Classic. Well, Miles Scott, the Morehouse quarterback, combined for more yards than the entire team did. At a feat that's only occurred, I think I did an article on it. I want to say like 6 other times, something like that, on the Division II level.
Here's something that I saw happen that had never happened in this century. Not once, not twice, but 3 times. Florida A&M gave up 40-plus points at home 3 times at home. First time that's ever been done in the modern history, modern era. And I'm talking this century. I went back and looked it up.
I would really want to look and consider the history of Florida A&M when it was done in the previous century.
And look, there were some bad teams in the past 25 years. There was even a 1-10 season, Drew. Not even in the 1-10 season did they give up 40 plus to 3 different opponents at home. So yeah, and something that I never ever thought I would see, but I saw it 3 times.
Yeah. Trying to see if we missed any other games out there. We missed anybody? Help us out.
Not that I can. Well, I mean, look, maybe on a not so friendly thing, we had the Grambling Bethune-Cookman scuffle. And I mean, look, there are no sacred cows here, but that dust up probably hurt Grambling more
than Bethune.
Because I think Grambling lost twice as many players. And then the following week, they ended up losing they lost to Alcorn. If I'm not Alcorn, they lost on a pair of punt returns. If I'm not mistaken, in the fourth quarter, they lost on a pair of 2, not 1, but 2 punt return touchdowns, if I'm not mistaken, late in that ball game. Look, this ain't white media. I'm calling it a scuffle. Oh yeah. The controversy that surrounded the comments made by I'm gonna say it, and you'd be mad if you want, the overblown reaction to the comments made by Marching 100
Joe Bullard,
Marching 100 halftime commentator Joe Bullard, who, by the way, now all bands are on notice for, all bands should be held to a different, what's the word I'm looking for? Lens, and with a different ear now, given what was said. while we're talking about bands, how about Southern winning band of the year?
I wanted to get another football one in before you got to that.
Well, I was just keeping in line with the with the band talk.
How about Morehouse won 3 football games consecutive for the first time since 2017?
What did you tell us in the preseason? You told us Morehouse was. What did you tell us in the preseason, Drew? How many wins did you say Morehouse was gonna get?
6.
What they get?
3.
All right.
But how many did we have the 3 years combined?
2,
3, 1 a year.
Oh, all right. And then you fired the coach. Anyway, I'm sorry. Look, Steve said it. He did it at the same time I said it. And still got the coach fired. Thank you, Steve. We're like minds, thinking alike. Look, I said the same thing, and they got the coach fired. See,
should have got to my number.
Yeah. Well, that would have saved the job, right? Definitely would have saved the job. How about, speaking of early firings? How about Southern firing Terrence Graves midway through the season?
And didn't he make it nowhere near homecoming?
I thought he got fired after. He got fired before homecoming?
I think so.
I thought it was after homecoming. It was after homecoming.
Yeah.
He got fired after homecoming. I think they had seen enough after he lost homecoming. Yeah. Yeah, he got fired after homecoming. Yep, because the first game was the Florida A&M game. That was the start of Fred. Yeah, Fred McNair taking over.
Speaking of new coaches,
hold on, are we ready to go there yet? Hold on.
We got the band there. They just hired a football coach last week.
Yeah, well, Winston-Salem got a new coach too. They finally after months of pleading to get rid of a coach. Losing to PV or Valley gets you fired. Losing to what do you mean PV? Who lost to PV? What do you mean?
Southern lost to PV at homecoming.
Oh, well,
that's a different PV team though.
Yeah.
Valley, yes.
I don't think that was I don't know if that was, but anyway, it was a short
in the rain.
In the rain. Yeah. In the rain. Tough break.
Let's get to these new coaches.
Okay, hold on. Let's go to let's just kind of wrap up the year here before we go. Best coaching job this year. I say Deshaun Jackson. Who do you say best coaching job? I mean, there were some great coaching performances this year. Chinnis Berry, Tremaine Jackson, Eddie Robinson Jr., Deshaun Jackson. Maurice Flowers.
I'll give you Deshaun Jackson on the Division I level, Brian. I'll give you that one because of the level above expectation that he did. But can I give you my Division II coach?
Yeah, sure.
How about Felton Huggins? Kentucky
State, yeah. That's about the equivalent of what Deshaun Jackson did. Wouldn't you say?
That's why I want to give that one to you.
Felton Huggins. I mean, that team won 9 games, had a historic season.
Made it to the playoffs.
And it was crazy. Didn't play for a championship because of the tie-breaking rules, right?
Correct.
But yeah, I mean, in a conference where you had great coaching performances this year by Quinn Gray at Albany State,
Dickerson
at Benedict, whose only losses all year came to Albany State,
all 3 of them.
All 3 losses came. I mean, other than that, they win. What they win?
They had a great season. As long as they
9 or 10 wins, just couldn't beat
10.
Albany State. 10 wins, but 10-3, you couldn't beat Albany State. Amazing. Albany State won 12 games. Outstanding year.
12-2.
But yeah, Felton Huggins kind of. I mean, I don't know. That's a coin. I mean, that's a tough one, man. Dickerson. Oh, and then hold on, while you're and then
but Dickerson, given where Dickerson started at and where he was expected to finish at, considering where Huggins was started at and was expected to finish at, I think Huggins gets the nod because of that.
No, I don't disagree because Kentucky State is an afterthought. You know, they had a blip. I think Kentucky State has had 2 blips on the radar in the last 10, 15 years.
Correct.
Right? The one year that they went to the SIAC championship.
Like 2015, 2016, somewhere up in there.
Right. And then the one year
they beat Jackson State.
They beat Jackson State in the Circle City Classic and all that. That was the 2 times that people were even talking about.
Because they had that great running game.
Yes.
They had the great running backs.
Yes. And now all of a sudden, Huggins did something that let's see if that's sustainable, man, because they were, pretty, they just found ways to get it done. I don't know. On the D2 level, I gotta go with Maurice Flowers, man. I'm gonna give Maurice Flowers his flowers because to be able to turn around, to come from a season where you were 8-0, and it's like, I mean, imagine walking to the car with this plate of china and you're like 3 steps away, and then all of a sudden you just trip and you just, there goes all the china and it breaks all over the ground. Right. That's what happened to them at the end of last year.
Well, I give you Maurice Flowers, but once again, you're only talking a 1 to 2 game improvement, Brian. Versus
but I think it's bigger. It's bigger from the sense of, Drew, you were the best team you were considered the number 1 team in HBCU football a year ago. And then you missed not only just going to the championship game because you couldn't win 1 of 2 games. You had 2 games and you couldn't win 1 of those 2 and ended up losing out in a tie-breaking scenario to Virginia State, I think. So you missed not only the playoffs, but you missed the CIAA tournament altogether. Then you turn around the next year, right? After, let me see, did they lose to Virginia Union earlier in the year?
Yes.
Okay.
Avenge that loss.
But that wasn't, but you had to overcome adversity, right? You had to beat Fayetteville State on the road to get to the championship game.
And I believe they beat Winston on the road also.
Yeah, you just wanted to throw that in there.
No, I'm just saying they had to win those last 2 games on the road, if I remember, to get to the CIAA championship game. That's why I threw that in there.
Look, I don't know if it's the best CIAA team money can buy, but that's the name of the game these days, right? That's the name of the game. So I don't know. I just thought to be able to overcome and get back to the championship game and then beat a team that, I mean, look, that Virginia, invincible. They looked invincible. I mean, hell, they had the best player in the nation and had been running through everybody like Montezuma's revenge. I mean, that's what they were.
Well, yeah. I saw Johnson C. Smith firsthand. They were a good team. Damn good team when they played us. I did see Kentucky State firsthand. But I still got to go with my bread is butter. I got to go with my CIAA person.
All right. Anyway, all right. You guys tell us in the chats who was the best coaching performance in the Division I and Division II levels. Division I, Division II levels. You let us know. Players of the year. I think Division II. Can we give it?
There's one name.
There's one name.
Curtis Allen. There's Harlan Hill. 2 firsts this year in Division II football. First time we had 5 teams make the playoffs.
Okay.
Albany State, Benedict, Kentucky State in the SIAC, Virginia Union, and Johnson C. Smith in the CIAA. Mm-hmm. And the first time we have a Harlan Hill winner, Curtis Allen, with over 2,400 yards rushing and 30 touchdowns.
Yeah. 2,400 yards, 30 touchdowns. And this is after spending a year or two behind Jada Byers. And Curtis Allen still has another year left, doesn't he?
I think he's done. I think he needs. I think we need to be looking for him to make somebody's roster for Sundays.
I think he should definitely get a look. He definitely should get a look. Hold on, I'm gonna put this up here for you guys in the chat. There you go. You guys in the chat, let us know who is the best HBCU football coach in 2025. We want to hear your thoughts in the chat. Let us know who you think. Hold on, Drew. All right. You put that up too quick.
Oh, my bad.
That's all right.
I
put
got
that one banner back up there, so that way people who might be tuning in can see. Okay, so Curtis Allen, Division II Player of the Year, and there were definitely some interesting worthy nominations, but now, how about on the Division I side? Player of the Year, Division I side. Oh, and remember, didn't we talk about the Offensive Player of the Year? We talked about that. And we talked about the criteria.
Yeah. I love Andrew Body. He's gone into the portal. He's going to get a bag from somebody somewhere. Probably a group of 5 teams going to sign him. But I got a problem with a player who did not play the back half of the season being Player of the Year. Now, don't get me wrong. He dominated the first half of the season.
Boy, did he.
He had stats.
That's still, Drew, that's still still lead the conference in only 4 or 5 games, Drew. Still lead the conference.
He only played half the season, man.
Again, it goes back to transparency in the process. We were led to believe.
Damn, Zach.
Wait a minute. I'm looking at it. Who was the second team guy? Hold on. Let me go back and look. Who was the second team guy? Hold on. Where's the numbers?
What was that? Graham, the quarterback?
Oh, is he talking about?
Or
is he talking about? No, from Jackson State.
Jackson State. Yes.
Was that who the second team was?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Well, I mean, your options at quarterback.
Of the top 4 teams in the SWAC did not have the quarterbacks for over half the season, Brian.
Here's the problem, Drew. Nobody respects running backs enough to give it to Ahmad Miller. Even though he was a part of the best rushing offense in the conference, one of the top 2 or 3 in the nation. Nobody respects. He would have had to have had those rushing yards along with twice as many touchdowns. And I don't think his touchdown numbers were high enough that they surpassed Andrew Body's. I'm trying to think like a voter. I'm not a voter. I'm trying to think like a voter. So bear with me here. All right. Just give me some grace on this. And I think maybe that's why Body ended up getting it. I don't know, man. I just think he was the best offensive player. I mean, yes, he got hurt the last 4 games of the season in the first half of the game against Prairie View. But outside of that, Cam Peters definitely that's who I thought. That's surprising that Cam Peters lost out to. And again, I'm trying to find the list. So I'm assuming we're talking about Jacobian Morgan getting second team all SWAC over Cam Peters. That is kind of interesting. But, there are other people who do conference All-American things. I know Phil Steele. Phil Steele usually does his. I know his conference standings. I know other people do. But is Body is he the player of the year in Division I, even though he only played 8 games? And if not Body, then who, Drew? Who would you give it to? Yeah.
I'd have to go back and do my research again, but I would have to find somebody other than Andrew Body. Hell, I mean, right now, Cam Peters would be.
No, I can't give it to Walker Harris. I can't. Come on, Steve.
No.
Stop it. Can't give it to Walker Harris.
No.
I mean,
I mean, hell, look at and it's tough, especially when you look at a team like Delaware State, who had a trio of running backs there.
Yes, they did.
Same thing with Jackson State, had a duo of running backs. So it's hard to give it to somebody who does not play under center, Brian. But like I say, no, and I'm not taking a shot at Andrew Body. It's more of the process for me. And then especially, Brian, when let's think about this. Andrew Body played more games against non-SWAC opponents than SWAC opponents.
Walker Harris's numbers: 234 of 375. That's a 62% completion percentage. Threw for 3,214 yards, 24 touchdowns, 9 interceptions. Good numbers in comparison to the other years, but
they finished third, Brian.
First off, yes, he finished third. And then in the 2 biggest games against South Carolina State, he was 13 of 31 for 218 yards, only 1 touchdown. Now, he did have a better game against Delaware State, where he threw for 354 yards, 68% completion percentage, 2 touchdowns, and an INT. So he did have a better game there. But down the stretch in his last 3 games, again, in 3 of the 5 MEAC games, he didn't throw over 300 yards. He had a total of 6 touchdowns, 1 interception. I don't know. Walker Harris was Walker Harris the player of the year in the MEAC?
I'd have to go back and look. It's been a couple of weeks out of. If you give me a second, Brian, I can tell you. Hold up.
The problem with Washington, sadly, he's a defensive player. Hold on.
See, Brian, this is what happened when you actually write the media guide. You actually know where to go back and look for it.
You know where to go.
I know exactly where I put the information at. Offensive player of the year, BAC, Walker Harris. Defensive player of the year for the BAC, Gerard Washington, South Carolina State. Offensive lineman of the year, Roger Smith, and rookie of the year was Raymond Moore. In the SWAC, Andrew Body was offensive. Quincy Ivory was defensive and newcomer of the year. And freshman of the year were Jared Lockhart and Chase Bingman of Jackson State and Prairie View, respectively.
I don't know. I think for a defensive back to get consideration for player of the year, he would have had to also do something else special teams wise, which sadly he didn't. And I'm just looking at the season stats for Washington. While he may have had 21 pass breakups, he had 5 against Howard, 5 against Savannah State, 3 against Bethune-Cookman. No other game did he have more than 1. No, not at all, Zach. Not at all.
No.
I would make again, it's the thing that makes it so apparent, and the thing that makes it so apparent for a guy like Curtis Allen at the Division II level is because he put up numbers his team won. Andrew Body put up numbers his team won. Yes, they won games without him, true enough, but Body had set the table. He set the table for Savion T-Set to eat. I'm sorry, not T-Set, Smoot.
Deshaun Smoot.
The backup. Yeah, T-Shawn Smoot. Yeah. He set the table. Yeah. I don't know. I can't think of a better. Look, if you're not going to give it to Ahmad Miller, if you're not going to give it to the wide receiver from Alabama State, because how can you give it to a wide receiver if you're not thinking about his quarterbacks? First off,
wide receiver would also have to do something like kick return or something like that.
Yeah. I just look. There was no guy in the SWAC who was more game planned against, more of a threat than him. So, yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Andrew Body, my player of the year.
Let's move on. We beat that horse to death.
Coaching changes. All right, let's get into it. At the end of the season, Savannah State has a new coach, Thomas Howard. Southern University has a new coach, Marshall Falk, NFL Hall of Famer. Florida A&M has
I think Brian Flora was up there. Florida A&M has a new head football coach, Quinn Gray, to return to his alma mater. Albany State has a new coach, David Bowser, who came over from Fayetteville State. And Winston-Salem State has hired Troy Woodbury as their new head coach. That leaves us, as we get ready to enter the 2026 calendar year, with 5 coaching vacancies still out there.
You got me?
You buffering? Can you hear Brian? Can you hear me now, Brian?
Yeah, I hear you. Is my audio? How's my audio?
Now you're good. You want to try your video again?
We'll see. Test 1, 2. How
All
am
right,
I looking?
we're good.
All right. Any better?
Okay. Yeah, we're good. Just finished talking about the new hires. Did you want to get anything about the new hires before we get into the open coaching positions still available?
No, I think it'll be fascinating to watch. Okay. Here's the thing about, and I wasn't on the show with the guys on the ONG earlier this week because I was still out in Vegas. But it'll be interesting to watch. First off, there's a big difference in contracts between what Quinn Gray got at FAMU and what Marshall Faulk got at Southern. And I also think what's interesting, each coach is going to be compared by a group of other coaches, meaning Marshall Faulk is going to be compared by Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick. And the crazy part is you got two guys on two ends of the spectrum. Vick had a horrible season. 10 games in a row, 1-11. Deshaun Jackson, 8 wins, was 1 game away from getting to the Celebration Bowl. I mean, talk about a big gap and an opportunity. If you land in the middle, I mean, that's probably be a great thing for Southern given where they were this year, right? If Southern goes 6-6, 7-5, I think people will be very happy.
Southern does not need to win the West.
Correct.
Because every time a coach wins the West in year 1, he's been fired in year 2.
I wouldn't want to. You're saying don't win the West.
Don't win the West.
That's crazy. Don't win the West. Challenge for it. Be competitive.
Don't win it.
Just don't win it. Don't win it. That's
because you lose your job year 2.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
See Terrence Graves.
Yeah.
See
Dooley. See Eric Dooley.
See Eric Dooley. They can tell you firsthand.
Now
we forgot Van Malone at Hampton.
Okay, I'm going to talk about that in a second. Hold on. Okay. And then for Florida A&M, Quinn Gray is going to be compared by the success of Chinnis Berry and Tremaine Jackson.
D2 coaches,
2 Division II coaches. Yep. 2 Division II coaches who came in and had immediate success in year 1. So while you say don't win Marshall Faulk in year 1,
Quinn, you better.
Hey, Rattler Nation wants to be in the hunt. Now, if we don't win, okay. But I'm telling you what, 3 things have to happen. A, be in the hunt. B,
beat Bethune.
Okay, thank you.
C, beat Valley.
Well, that wasn't my C, but okay, that's a good C. D, win homecoming, and E, do not lose games to opponents where you give up 40 and don't score more than 40. Even if you give up 40, damn it, those better be wins. It better be a shootout, like 45-42.
The old Billy Joe day.
Don't lose. Exactly. Don't give up 40 points and lose, because we saw that happen 3 times at home and people were not happy about that. So I just, the difference in expectations in year 1 are going to be very, very interesting, because in the back of people's minds, people are going to compare coaches to these other guys. Is that you agree with that, or do you think that's fair?
No, I think that is fair.
Yeah,
I think that's fair.
And then the Hampton coach, what was his name again?
Van Malone.
That's an interesting hire, because Van Malone, I think, was a candidate for the Florida A&M job, or he was a name that was discussed when Colsey got hired. Or at least he was a name that was in consideration. I think he was on the committee's list when there was a committee that a little faux committee that was put together.
The infamous committee.
Yeah, whatever. We knew what it was. But his name was a part of that. Now, I don't think he's been in a career. Look, I just don't know. I want to know why Hampton. Because I heard Dr. Alvin Parker, he was part of the interview. He interviewed for the Hampton job. I don't know what happened. Somebody's got to investigate and tell me why that didn't happen, because that seemed like a slam dunk. Like, if you interviewed Parker, if you interviewed Dr. Frazier, how do you go to a guy who'd been in the Big 12, in the middle America, in Kansas, versus a guy who's been in your backyard for the last, I don't know, how long has Parker been at Virginia Union?
16, I believe. 15, 16.
Close to a decade.
He's actually Al Parker is the longest tenured coach currently in HBCU football.
It amazes. It's and I don't think no one's asking the question because, be frank, y'all don't care about Hampton enough to want to know. But I'm damn sure curious. That I like Dr. Parker. I mean, we've talked to him before on our show. I think he's an amazing man. He's an amazing coach.
Maybe Dr. Parker should be looking at the other HU. Since they are open.
Look, that is open. That is an open job. Howard. We've heard about Howard's challenges, but I question whether Howard's really interested in being in the football business. I mean, we've talked to people who have told us, Howard doesn't do transfers, at least at the grad level.
They don't. At the undergrad level, it's tough at the undergrad level.
Yes, and so there's just a lot of obstacles that, to me, Howard wants you to try to win under their parameters instead of
academic
being more.
Institution.
It is. It's an academic institution. Not saying that you can't be.
No,
but you can be.
I work at an institution in a very similar model, Brian. It's a different set of challenges.
Okay. Well, in that case, is it just that Parker is content at Union? I don't know. I think we have to be careful when we talk about being content.
Some people they happy at the Division II level. It's us who want them to coach at the Division I level. It's the fans. It's the media. Some people are actually happy where they're at. The family is established. The routines are established. They understand the landscape of the university. They have success. Some people like being the big fish in the pond.
In a small pond?
In a small pond. And that's cool. That's not knocking. Some people are cool being a Division II head coach. Let them be. It's people like us, Brian, who say they need to be coached at the Division I level.
I just want to hear from Hampton alums and want to know because Florida A&M alums were very determined to have Quinn Gray as their coach. Now, he's an alum. I get it. Hampton alums weren't determined to have Dr. Alvin Parker.
But he's a Union alum.
Look, I don't know look, are you telling me you can't be okay? Look, I got to learn more about the relationships there in Virginia.
That might mean something to Dr. Parker. The fact that he is a Union alum.
Okay.
He played at Union.
That's fair. All right. So Howard University is the big job in the Division I level.
The only Division I job out there still.
Yeah, but we still got a couple of jobs that we haven't heard. Like, okay, for example, UAPB, we haven't heard whether they are extending or offering a new deal to Alonzo Hampton. Grambling State, we have not heard what the final decision is with who's the coach at Grambling? Jesus, I can't think of his name. Mickey Joseph. Mickey Joseph. I had heard rumors that Mickey Joseph might get an opportunity at an FBS school, which then might open the door. So I won't be surprised, Drew, if in the next 2 to 3 weeks,
coaching convention is in 2 weeks, Brian.
which is after the transfer portal.
No,
which
it's during.
Is it really? Ooh.
I believe it's during. Let me double check those dates.
I thought the coaching convention was after.
It might be immediately after.
I think it was after the national championship game. And the coaching window, so the transfer portal is from the January 2nd to January 15th.
16. Yeah,
okay.
16.
The national championship game
is the 17th.
What day?
17th.
Okay.
No,
so
19th. I believe it's the 19th. It's on a Monday.
It's after.
Yeah.
And the AFCA convention is after that.
No.
Okay. Travis says it's
AFCA convention is January 11th through 13th.
Oh, okay. Well, I still
so that's during the
that's right before the national championship game.
And during the transfer window.
During the transfer window. Oof. This is going to be interesting, man. I again, I'm holding my prediction down that there's going to be some more coaching changes in the next 2 weeks. First couple weeks.
And there's always coaching changes after the convention.
Yeah. There's going to be some changes.
And these are the changes that are usually on the assistant level, coordinators, position coaches.
I think there's going to be a head coach that leaves.
I'm
saying at least
the reason
one.
I say that is because he may go be a position coach at a higher level, but that's where you see those.
Yes.
That's where those movements are with coordinators.
But it leaves a vacuum in the head coaching space.
Yes, it may.
Yeah. The Clark I see you guys talking about the Clark Atlanta job. Teddy Keaton, I don't know, resigned or let go? What's the official? What's the word on that? Resigned or let go?
Let me pull up this official statement because I don't want to misquote anything.
I don't know. Ram, Steve is saying he didn't agree.
Especially in my capacity.
Right. No, I think he was let go. But anyway, well, let's see. I'll let you read what the official statement. Assuming I'm just going to put the other comments up for everybody. He was blindsided. He was let go. So let Drew give the official statement here, and then you guys parse that out. Yeah, I don't think he wanted to go. Yeah. So Bowie State is also open. Of course, Morehouse is still open. Langston University is still open as well. So Travis Travis said, read it word for word, Drew. Don't skip anything. Don't skip anything.
Who said that? let me find it.
Thank you. My guy, Steve Campbell, HBCU Coaches Corner, can confirm that he was let go. But let's read what the official statement says.
Because I'm going to the official.
Just go to Clark's Twitter feed.
That's not where it came from.
It did. It came from Clark administration. It didn't come from the athletic department. It came from Clark Atlanta. Damn, no one man should have all that power. But they do have all that power, though, Steve. That's the point. They do have all that power. How far has Bowie State fallen? Remember, there was just like 4 years ago, we were talking about Bowie State as one of the premier Division II programs. And now it's like Damon Wilson leaves, and it's just not the same. Not the same.
It hasn't been the same for him since he's moved over to Morgan State either.
Yeah, had a tough time at Morgan too. This year was just such an odd year for them. I mean, the number of one-score losses was was epic. You guys in the chat, I want to know which website, who's got the best HBCU football transfer portal tracker right now. I've seen something posted on HBCUSports.com. I haven't bumped over to Game Day to see what they have, but who's I know Zach's in there. FCS Central.
Found it.
If you guys got in the chat, who's running a good portal tracker, because I know I'm curious to see. I just want to tally up and see what school. And again, all the stuff you've seen about transfer portal, people have intent to transfer. Nobody has officially transferred yet, because you can't until what, Friday?
Yes.
Friday. All right, here you go. You got the official statement?
Wait a minute. Let me switch this over. I'm going to pull it on the screen, so don't nobody think that I am flubbing the numbers.
Flubby, what are you talking about?
Just stay with me, Brian. Just stay with me.
Okay. All right, stay with you. All right. Again, I'm fascinated by transfer portal news. I'm just watching some of these big name HBCU guys who have made an intent to want to transfer. And I'm just fascinated to see where they end up. Okay, wow. Can't read that, but whatever. It's there.
Let's see if I can
zoom in. You do better just to read it, Drew. It's still not going to get any bigger.
All right. Dear Clark Atlanta community, on behalf of Clark Atlanta University, CAU, I announce the departure of Coach Teddy Keaton, CAU head football coach, who joined us in December 2023. His tenure included a remarkable 7-3-1 season in 2024, culminating in a championship appearance. We extend gratitude to Coach Keaton for his leadership and contributions to our football program. We wish him the very best in his future endeavors. We will provide additional information regarding the future direction of our football program in coming days. Thank you for your steadfast support of CAU athletics. And then it was signed by the athletic director.
So they never.
And here's the official tweet.
See, okay. I want to point this out. FAMU did this. FAMU, this must be the new. Is this the new thing now in college athletics? Put that back up there again. Oh, you took away. This whole change in leadership is the new way of saying you're fired or you've been let go. Is that what it is? Because FAMU did the same thing, where it was so positive that it didn't say we have taken the keys away from the former head coach and we've given the keys to someone else. It just said we have made a new change and we have now appointed. They didn't even say who they appointed as new interim, did they?
No, they did not.
Yeah. This is so passive aggressive. This way of firing people. I never want to be fired this way. I never want to be fired this way. And please tell me that you don't want me anymore, or please tell me to we're letting you go. It's like working at this the equivalent of working in an at-will state like Florida, where they can let you go for any reason and they don't have to tell you why. That's what the equivalent of that is. It's horrible way to go. Horrible way to be let go. Let go without cause, just because. Horrible, man. It's a horrible way to go. You don't want me to... if they say agreed to go in another direction, they want you to know they fired you. Departure says they don't want to damage you publicly, and we don't want to look bad for it. No, you're going to look bad for it. See? Pull the Band-Aid. Just say the coach has been relieved of his coaching duties. We thank him for, I mean, that's all you got to do. And if the coach is, you know, if the coach was, I mean, you know, did they pull him into the office? Yeah, that makes sense. And I tell you, this, but anyway, so passive aggressive. Passive aggressive.
That's what you have to do in today's Sue Happy world, Brian.
We've seen that now in 3 places. You know what? They did that to that happened in at Langston when Quentin Morgan was let go. If you go back and read that presser. So that must be some sort of new athletic administration guide that they're advising athletic administrators. You know, there's a magazine called Coach and A.D. That must have been an article in Coach and A.D. How to let go of your head football coach without damaging his reputation or risk running a potential lawsuit. I don't know. It must have been an article. Yeah, it is a very,
you Brandon, you stupid.
There's no such thing as a day off in college football. You know what? You know what? I'm going to do that. Let me see. Let me find the correct prompt. How to, you know what? Hold on. I got ChatGPT open right now. How to relieve your head football coach without damaging his reputation or should I say, or running the risk of a lawsuit. Let's all do that now. Hold on, let me Google AI mode. How about Google AI mode? That's a pretty one. No, you just got to go to ChatGPT. That's crazy.
Make sure you put it on the screen.
Huh?
Make sure you share that on the screen so you can read that one.
I am. What was the prompt again? What did I say the prompt was?
I thought you was talking into the doggone microphone.
I thought I was too. How to write a dismissal letter of your head football coach that does not tarnish his reputation. Thanks him for his service to your athletic program
and does not set himself up for a lawsuit
and minimizes the risk of a future lawsuit. Period. All right, here we go, folks. All right, here we go. Yes, I'm actually on ChatGPT. Hold on, I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see it.
Yeah, we want to see this.
Huh?
Yeah, we want to see this.
Oops, hold on. Wrong button. Let's see. Oh, he already got something. Here we go. I swear, if this comes out to be anything like what we've seen, we might have exposed some people here. I haven't even scrolled down, but I'm just curious now. Hold on, here we go.
You don't need the HR department anymore.
No, we don't need the HR. Okay, here we go. Sharing screen. Here we go. All right, folks, here we go. You can see what I wrote up there, right? How to write a dismissal letter of your head football coach that does not temper his reputation, thanks him for his service to your athletic program, and minimizes the risk of future. Based below is a practical approach plus a clean reputation-protecting template you can adapt. This is written to balance professionalism, gratitude, and risk reduction.
All right. Click out.
I'm not a lawyer before sending. What's that?
I say close out that little privacy thing.
Privacy.
The little Privacy X.
Where are you talking about? Where are you at?
Below. Just keep going.
Oh, okay. All right. So here we go. The key principles to minimize reputational and legal risk. Stick to natural language. Reference the contract, not conduct. Express gratitude without qualifiers. Avoid public-facing statements. Confirm transition details separately. Use respectful tone. Oh, close the chat. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like you guys.
See the little X above your chat by messaging chat GPT. You agree to our terms, policy, private policy. Close that little box out.
I don't see that box, Drew. What are you talking about?
Are you show appearing on the screen?
No.
All right. Well, keep going.
It's not there now.
Keep going.
All right, here we go. Sample dismissal letter. Dear Coach, this letter serves as a formal notice.
You should change that to a public statement.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes. Just type it there. Make this a public statement.
Okay.
A press release. Make this into a press release.
Make this into a press release. All right. So there we go. All right. So we're gonna redo. Make this into a press release. Okay. For immediate release. There we go. Today announced a leadership transition within its football program. Head football coach blank will conclude his tenure with the program effective blank. Maybe you got a quote in here, Drew. We are grateful to Coach Blank for his service and dedication to our student athletes and our athletic department, said whomever. Coach Blank has represented our program with professionalism and commitment, and we appreciate the time and effort he has invested in blank. The institution will begin the process of identifying new leadership for the football program. Additional details regarding transition will be handled internally and in accordance with institutional policies. We wish Coach Blank the very best in his future professional endeavors, added. Further updates will be shared at the appropriate time. Man. Why this works. Oh, look at this part. Why this works quietly. No reasons given for the separation. No negative or comparative language. Expresses gratitude without qualifiers. Aligns cleanly with the dismissal letter. Reduces defamation and wrongful termination risk. If you want, I can adjust this for high school or college. Make a shorter version for social media. Ensure it matches without cause contract termination and language consistent with conference or district norms. Damn, we just exposed something here, Drew.
Let me get off this show before they be sending me one of these letters.
Oh my God. Oh man. We just exposed. Oh man. Okay. Wow. I did not think we were going down that route, but we did.
You just went down the rabbit hole, Brian.
You guys in the chat, I'm blaming the chat for this one. The chat did this, not me. The chat
or the chat GPT?
Both. All right. Well, okay. Best overall game of 2025, Drew. We've talked about some great moments. Let's go. All sports. We've talked about things that happened in baseball, basketball, football, men, women. Best game of 2025.
No
Best
particular
game. Hold on. Let me put the chat up here. Go ahead. What are you gonna do?
I was gonna say no particular order. I'm gonna give you some candidates.
All right. That's fair.
And I have to go back. If I remember I think it was the semifinals in the SWAC, I want to say that was on the women's side. It was the Alcorn. Was it Alcorn Southern? I believe that was the game that I'm thinking of. But I'm really thinking now. But Southern losing in the first round was another all-time game.
Of what? Losing in the first round?
SWAC, first round of the SWAC tournament. Southern men.
Okay. Wait a minute, what sport?
Basketball. I'm sorry.
I don't even remember that. How do you remember that?
I guess because I was there.
All right.
SWAC baseball championship game has to be on the list somewhere.
Okay.
Obviously, Celebration Bowl is on the list.
Okay.
That game right there is on the list.
Alabama State, Jackson State. Okay.
Yeah, that game is definitely on the list.
Come on, you guys in the chat. Let's go. Let's hear it. Let's see. Come on. Best game of 2025.
Those are the three. Those are my top three. Right. Albany State, Benedict, 3.
Okay.
Albany State, Benedict, 3 is on the list. And my number 5 game, Morehouse over Howard. Basketball. That's my top 5. So Morehouse Howard, Albany State Benedict 3, and I'm ranking them now. Jackson State, Alabama State is 3. Number 2, SWAC baseball championship game. Number 1, Celebration Bowl.
Okay. So I got to give 5?
I just gave 5. You know, we do 5s.
Okay. Number 5 for me. I got to include. This is all games. So again, just to preface this, this is the best HBCU game of 2025. Number 5, Jackson State, Alabama State. Alabama State at Jackson State, comes down to the last play. Defensive stop. Jackson State wins the East because of it. Okay, that's number 5. Damn, this is hard. Number 4. I gotta go with the Wingate Wish. I mean, that was outstanding.
For a play, yes, I can't go the whole game, but definitely for a play.
Well, I mean, why can't you
but
go
this is your 5.
game?
This is your 5, though.
And they were down, what, 24-0?
Something like that. It was 20 something. They were down 20 plus.
Yeah, you were down 20 plus. I mean, and a playoff game. Win or go home. Number 3, Celebration Bowl.
Ooh, 3. I want to see 2 and 1.
Look, and you'll see the theme here. Championship game, 4 overtimes. It was probably because of the lead changes, the ties. It was probably a better football game overall than Wingate Wish, and probably better than Alabama State, Jackson State, because it meant more. Number 2, Alabama State versus St. Francis in the NCAA tournament, men's basketball. I mean, Alabama State was down. Buzzer beater to win. I mean, doesn't get any better than that. Unless it's the bottom of the 9th inning with 2 outs, losing by 2 runs with 2 runners aboard.
A 3-run walk-off.
And you hit a 3-run walk-off. That's the only way you can trump a buzzer beater in the NCAA tournament is if you hit a 3-run homer to walk it off in a championship game, Drew. I mean, that's my number 1. I mean, and I can only put one FAMU miserable game in there. I did not want to put in that Bethune-Cookman game, although it was very close to being a top 5 moment, but I just couldn't do it. I said, I'm only going to put one FAMU loss in here for sanity's sake. And if it's going to be that one, at least it's because I like Coach Hernandez. But that was the game of the year to me. I mean, come on now. 2 outs, down 2 runs. I mean, even if he would have got a single home, Drew, maybe 1 run scores, possibly 2. But no, he ends the game going straight to center. The damn center fielder never had a shot at it. Come on, man. That's 5 runs in the final 2 innings. Come on, man. That's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, the softball one was, you know what? It's funny, Edwin, you bring up the softball because the Lady Rattlers had a couple of walk-offs in that SWAC baseball, in that SWAC softball tournament that were memorable. I think
there were multiple games in that tournament that were memorable. Alabama State had one, if I remember correctly.
Yes. I think if we talk tournaments,
that's the best tournament of the year.
That was the best tournament of the year. If we talk just overall conference tournaments that had drama, that softball tournament was the best tournament of 2025. Our opinion, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right.
One other thing before we get out of here, Brian.
Yeah.
Bands of the year. Miles repeats as band of the year on the Division II level, and the Human Jukebox takes down the defending champion Florida A&M and the Marching 100 in the band of the year contest.
No comment. Congratulations, Southern. Congratulations, SWAC. Congratulations, SWAC cabal, SWAC establishment, SWAC band establishment, whatever. Guys tripping over themselves, still winning.
That's got to be tough. That's got to be tough for Israel. Picking between 100 and the box.
No, it's anyway. They needed Southern to win that, so that way the SWAC establishment would feel better about themselves. But anyway, congratulations, Southern. You are a good band. That just was not a great performance. So, yeah, but I called that too. So whatever. Backhand compliments. I'm sorry. I should be better. I promise to be better in 2026. I promise to be less petty. New Year's resolutions, Drew. I promise to be less petty in 2026. I promise to be less, what's the word? I strive to not be so petty towards Jackson State Twitter.
We'll see. We'll see how long that lasts.
I'm choosing to focus more on my university, Florida A&M, in 2026, and less about the other 11 schools in the SWAC. So there's my New Year's resolutions: less petty, exercise more, eat better, less fries, and be more hospitable.
Bryan, I'm gonna selfishly say this. That petty helps makes this show, man. I need you to stay petty so we can keep this show going, man. That petty helps make this show. You know half this chat is tuned in just to see how much petty you're gonna throw out for the day.
I don't want to be respected for my pettiness, Drew. I want to be respected for my content and knowledge. I can't even say that with a straight face. Oh, Lord. Yes, there you go. See, right there. There you go. So now we are one. What's that? We are one. You know, that's we can all be in agreement now going into 2026. Oh man. All right. Hey, again, hit the thumbs up and the like button, folks. If you've enjoyed our content through the course of 2025, we want to say thank you to all of you in the HBCU sporting diaspora, whether you're watching us live, whether you're watching the replay, the podcast. Thank you to all of you who download and subscribe to the BCSN Pod Zone on Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. We thank you for consuming the content. We thank you for the donations that you make via the Cash App or the Super Chat. We thank you for being subscribers and members. And so, you know, all of the shows on the Black College Sports Network, I don't think Carlos will have another show this year. Dr. Cavill will probably do a show on Tuesday. I think the ONG will probably do a show probably Tuesday. I don't think we'll do a show New Year's Eve, which is Wednesday. So this is one of the last shows that our network will do live. So
I thought Norfolk made it the first year.
They did not. The first year was Jackson State and North Carolina A&T.
Okay.
That's why Jackson State stays so mad, because they can't believe that they lost to North Carolina A&T. That's why they stay mad. They just won't admit that. But anyway, yeah. So
gotta read the rubric. Gotta read the rubric.
Right. SWAC basketball season begins on Thursday, January 1st.
New Year's games.
New Year's games for the women on Thursday. So that's when the SWAC season begins. And then, of course, it's not 2026 yet, Edwin. I still got a few days left. I got a few days left of petty in me. The doubleheader Saturday, and then the men's solo on Monday. So the first games of the SWAC season begin Thursday. Looking forward to it. Should be interesting. So by the time we talk on Sunday next week, it'll be me and somebody. I know, Drew probably won't be here, but it'll be me and somebody else to start the new year. Maybe I can track down Charles Edmond, who, Charles Edmonds is a Christmas baby. I wished him Merry Christmas, but didn't even realize it was his birthday until later. We're not going to talk about our professional teams, Edwin. I pray for new leadership in 2026 from our general manager to our head coach to our quarterback. I just want everything to be new next year. I want everything to be new. You know what? I didn't even realize my camera was backwards, Drew. Nobody even told me that. Nobody picked that up.
I didn't even pay attention.
I just noticed it. Anyway.
I mean, we only been on for 3.5.
Charles has to share his birthday with Jesus. Well said. Well said. I think that's a small sacrifice he'll make. Shout out to anybody who had to share their birthday with Jesus. I can think of less famous people to share your birthday with, but I think that's pretty cool. Although, you probably miss out on the double presents, though. You know what I'm saying? That's probably the one disadvantage of being born on Christmas is you only get one set of presents. While all your other friends get Christmas and their birthday, you only get one. So that's probably the disadvantage. But all right. Let's get out of here. Drew, any final thoughts and words for people in 2025?
No, just want to thank everybody for supporting me, supporting us here at the Black College Sports Network. Those who supported me at Morehouse College, thank you for supporting me over there. And also those who supported me with my endeavors with ESPN events. So just want to thank everybody for the support. Look forward to serving you in 2026. And I say serving you because that's what we do here. We actually serve you all when we come with this information, because this is a labor of love. The research and the time that has to go into this, to do this. There are many a days where you're too tired to want to do a show, or you just like, how the heck am I going to find time to do this show? But when we flip that camera on and put these headsets on, we perform. And it's a labor of love. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in, watching. Please like, please share, please subscribe. If you can, donate, but do what you can. Support us. You've done a good job in 2025. We want to see you see this again in 2026 and continue to grow this network. This, not only this network, but this thing called HBCU Sports that we like to do. Just support all Black media. Speaking of supporting Black media, I will be a part of a show with Ken Rashad. He's doing
it's Wednesday. I'll be on that too. It's a marathon. It's 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.
I'll be a part of it.
Sports.
Don't know what time I'm going to be on there, but I will be on there on Wednesday. Yeah. So
looking forward to that. That should be fun.
Maybe we do it together, man.
Well, I think he's looking for people bringing on people at different times. But you got to spread it out. You got to spread out. I'm just curious to see him do this, man. This is going to be awesome to watch.
Yeah.
HBCU
HBCU Sports.
Ideas.
So that'll be my final show of the year.
Yeah, probably mine too.
Probably be on with Dr. Cavill on Tuesday, but that will be my final show of the year. So I look forward to seeing you guys in 2026, and love each and every one of you guys.
Well said, Drew. I just want to say to you, man, Happy New Year. I'm continually amazed at all that you do. You are a role model, not just to me, but to any of us out there aspiring to do multiple jobs and do them well. You find yourself in different places and you do everything first class. And I've always respected and looked at you as one of those role models, all the way going back to your days in SBI when I used to watch how you operate. And be like, this is a little skinny dude from St. Louis, man. He just runs this place. But, always professional, always first class. I love doing this show with you, man. And I wish you, your family, Happy New Year. And I wish you much success and prosperity in all the things that you do. You're a great inspiration. I figure, hey, if Drew can do it, I can find a way to slug my way through it as well. Because doggone it, Drew's a soldier. He makes it happen. So Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you.
And thank for my family for putting up with me for doing all this stuff, because sometimes they're the victims of my endeavors, because I have to sacrifice time with them sometimes.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story, whole nother challenge that we live with. But as you said, we do it for the love. We do it for the love, and we do it for you guys. So
ain't for the money.
No, it's not. But thank you again. Hit the thumbs up and like button. Subscribe, follow, rate, share, review. However you do it, however you choose to donate and support. It could be a thumbs up, it could be a like, it could be an actual cup of coffee, whatever it is you want to do. It's certainly appreciated. Thank you, and hopefully we can continue to grow. We're always trying to find new followers, new subscribers, and that's challenging in this day and age. But we keep striving. So thank you to everybody. I wish you and yours. I'm just gonna get a hat. I'm one of them hats that just say petty. But anyway, thank you, everybody. We love you. Be blessed. Have a great last few days of 2025. Make sure to give thanks to the man above. And we wish you good health and a great 2026. For A.D. Drew, I'm Brian Fulford. Thanks for watching the BCSN Sports Wrap right here on the Black College Sports Network, the longest running HBCU sports themed show. We will see you in 2026.
And to all my squares out there, travel light into 2026, fellas.
You didn't say we'll holler.
We'll holler.